Yeah, man. Let's start. Let's give the people what they want.
Ooh, what do they want?
A 3-hour yap sesh. That's what they want. They want us to talk about Wemby getting 50. They want us to talk about what else happened. They want us to talk about NBA, the NBA Cup courts. They want us to talk about the city jerseys getting released. They want to talk about fights. You want to talk about the Celtics. You want to talk about everything that's going on in the NBA world. Let's talk
Heavy
about
on the city jerseys. They definitely want to hear us talk about that. And you know what, y'all? We're recording this on Thursday, November 14th, and they have finally officially released them. So it's going to be a good TikTok time. We're going to talk about that, talk about everything else Donovan has mentioned. And as you see by the title, we're specifically going to frame this episode around the most underrated player on every NBA team. You know, we've done a lot of talking in the last few weeks about like teams, who's great, who's worse than we expected, who's going to blow it up eventually, yada, yada. And next week, we're going to have a big episode really talking about that, if you can assume what that is, if you've been around for our history. So this week, we're going to take a break and we're going to do something player-focused. You know, players that deserve more love, deserve more shine, people that fly under the radar.
Yeah, we've been kind of negative. You got to balance it out, right? You can't just hate all the time. Then there's just no fun. Now you're just a mean person, right? That's not who we are, right? And nothing else. We are fair. So we got to show love at the same time.
Says the least fair person on this podcast.
Facts.
I'm very fair. I'm very fair.
All right.
Okay, we different.
I'm extreme on both sides. right there in the middle.
You will glaze and you will hate both equally?
Yep.
Okay, you're a man of dichotomy. Fair enough.
You know what's not fair?
The duality
it's not
of
fair. It's not fair that you watching or listening on audio platforms right now haven't liked the video yet, haven't commented yet, haven't went ahead and left us a 5-star reviews on all audio platforms, whether it be Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Leave a review, 5-star us. So you can continue.
Most days bullying people into interacting with content.
Absolutely. I'm the number one bully for that. Absolutely.
If you don't like my fucking video, you're going to hell. Be ready.
I'm at your door. I'm dragging you.
All right, man. Without further ado, let's get into talking about the most underrated player on every single NBA team.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my God.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
Before we get into the underrated part, we have to do one quick segment that I'm going to start. You know, a few weeks ago, a few episodes, we started a segment where we did the best take of the day, where I showed you guys what it sounds like. I showed you a take from, I think, Twitter it was, and we talked about it, and we pat the guy on the back for having a good take. Today, we're going to talk about the worst take of the week. The dumbest bullshit I saw all week. And we can call this dumb bullshit without being mean because it came from an anonymous source, which they're not putting a name to it. So we can berate it all we want. And that take came from Tim Bontemps. I can't even say it. It didn't come from Tim Bontemps. Not his opinion. But on his podcast, he reported that an anonymous NBA scout says Victor Wembanyama is not an impactful offensive player. He said he's absolutely awesome on defense and not impactful at all on offense. He just looks like he's playing with a whole lot without a whole lot of direction. And you know, this was said, and it was echoed by a lot of people on Twitter, because for the first 6 or 7 games of the year, Victor Wembanyama kind of alarmed people with the amount of 3-point shots he was taking. It was over half of his shots were from 3, which is outrageous for somebody his size. And people see big guys shoot small guy shot and they get pissed. But since then, those shots all go in now. For the last 3 games, he's making over 50% of his threes. And as you mentioned at the top of the show, Donovan, he scored 50 points yesterday with 8 made 3-pointers. Sounds like a pretty impactful offensive player to me. How do y'all feel about this conversation?
You go first, Mo.
I mean, it's just like regular season talk about regular initial season slumps. It seems to us that Wemby is one of those players. Of course, like the 3-point shot and at the rate that he was taking was a little alarming, but it's players testing out new things, tweaking their play style, figuring out ways to be the most productive and impactful to their team on the court. And the Spurs, like particularly, are a team that, from what I see since this new NBA era started, they're a particularly team that like to experiment a lot offensively, especially. Last year we saw with Jeremy Sohan, and he was the lead point guard. And this year we're seeing Victor Wembanyama take all kind of threes. And I don't want to say it's like starting to pay off because it's just 3 games yet or whatever, but it looks like it's freaking starting to pay off right now. And he looks real unguardable. Just regular off season or regular early in the season overreactions.
Yeah, and I understand why it alarms people. Like, that's the wording you use, is alarming, because it's weird. It's not something we're used to. And all the conversation on Twitter is also about like perhaps NBA ratings are down because there's too many threes and people don't like it. Neither here nor there, whether you think that's true or not, whatever. But people have grown a sort of like hysteria around 3-point shooting in the same way they've had like free throw shooting for a few years. I've talked a lot about people being super dramatic about free throws. That's becoming a thing about threes where people think threes are like the antithesis of fun, antithesis of anything good. So, the biggest guy on the court is taking the most threes. Oh my God, that can't be good. And I think people have failed to account for the fact that Wemby is not normal. And perhaps we should understandably expect him to not play normally. He's a strange talent that isn't going to fit into whatever box you want. I know some people were like, I'm glad he's choosing to be KD instead of Hakeem. He is neither of those guys. So I understand it's weird, but I think it might not be bad.
It might not be bad in terms of like his overall production, but I do think that there is something to like, bro, like you're 7'6", you don't need to be taking step back after step back after step back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the fact that he's taking, at least for me, it's not the fact that he's taking a lot of threes. It's the types of threes that he's taking where like, they're bag work threes, or, he's trying to do it off the dribble instead of catch and shoot and stuff like that. Like I would rather than be more in the flow of whatever is going rather than you think that you're a Steph, Dame, Trey, and now, you're 7'6", because at that point, that is where people are correct, where you kind of are bailing people out. Cause again, you're the tallest person on the floor, and you are, and it's not like he's Zach Edey where you're 7'6", but you're also not like super, like nimble or agile in that way, where Wemby does have that. So you can be closer to the basket and still be productive there. And so if he played like Dame for the rest of his career, I would be frustrated.
That's really easy to say when the shots aren't going in. But if the shots go in like they go in for Dame, now you have a 7'4" Dame.
Yes, and so the argument against it is like, what if he scores 50 points and shoots 60% from three? Like, of course, if you're gonna shoot 60% from three, do whatever you want. Nobody in the world is ever going to shoot 50%, 45% from three consistently. Like even exactly, unless you're like Steph Curry. So it's like when we're like, there's rules that Steph can do, and then there's rules for like every other basketball player on the planet. And so
exactly. And Wemby's gonna be one of the guys that has his own set of rules that defies conventional logic.
No,
I agree. He's not gonna
He's
not gonna shoot 50% every time. If he shot 38%, he would have had like 39 points this game, and it would have been great. Like I know exactly what you mean, and the logic checks out. But I think it's mostly because we haven't seen it before. And it's frustrating, like you said, when he's playing like Dame and he's making 15% of those shots like his first few games. It's not frustrating at all when they go in at a good clip. And as part of it is obviously he's not going to have the same shot diet he has now. Like they're working through it. He's developing. They're trying to figure out the balance. Right now, 45% of his shots are threes and only like 31% are at the rim. That's not enough. It has to find a slightly different balance. But the idea of building his shot from the outside in and making him the best, most lethal stretch big of all time, who can also be a lob threat, can also attack, do high post passing, all this stuff, but it's built off of the 3-point shot and having the most space for everybody else ever and making everybody else better that way, is not some awful way to go about your game. That's not some stupid idea for a player who's extremely unique.
I don't need him to be out here looking. See the moves that we're seeing right there. That's where it's like, that's where it's fine. Instead of you take that spin and now you're taking, the double step back and now you're taking that three. It's the hard off the dribble threes that I'm not a massive fan of. I don't really care about any of the other threes. It's those in particular that for me, I'm like, there is at a certain point you are bailing the defense out when you're doing that.
Yeah, I understand.
Until you make 39% of them, then it's not a bailout; it's a lethal weapon. Like the difference is just does it go in or not.
If you're on a heat check, do whatever you want. But I'm saying for an 82 game like season for the playoffs, like that's
Wemby's
like,
just one of those players who doesn't make any sense. Last year, he was one of the best step back 3-point shooters in the entire NBA. I think he was like top 4 in that category in terms of efficiency, also considering volume. And so if it goes in, which is like historically hasn't gone in, there's nothing that you can do about it, but just watch it go in continuously. And I think something I will say is that with him stepping out a lot more, it feels and seems to be really beneficial, like Isaac said, to like the rest of his teammates. And
because they
surprise,
suck, because they can't shoot. They
can't shoot, but they right now they have a 6-6 record. Just last year, it took them like 35 games to reach 5 wins. They surpassed that within 2-3 weeks of the season. It's working right now.
There's unlimited driving lanes when you're 7'5" guys out here and the opponent's big man has to guard him like that. It's the same argument of why we like Kristaps Porzingis, why we like Miles Turner, Chet Holmgren, whatever. No one says Chet Holmgren take less threes. It's only Wemby because we have this idea of Wemby being this dominant big, and he still can be. It's just probably gonna look different than what you expected. He's still driving to the rim. He's still being hyper efficient there. He's shooting 81% at the rim. Now, I want him to get there more. I'm a big fan of rim pressure with anybody, so I want less mid ranges, more rim shots, but I don't have an issue at all with them emphasizing threes at a high degree and figuring out what the balance is.
So you just gotta say, get his big ass in the paint.
No, exactly.
Say, get your big ass in the paint. We know you want to say
Thank
that.
you. Listen. I'm trying. I try very, very hard. Right? I try very, very hard. But at the end of the day, get your big ass in the paint. You are 7'6". What are we talking about?
Be a modern man.
No, tall man, stay there. It takes so much. And again, if you are shooting at a very, very high clip, that's cool. I don't want to see that be a majority of a shot, or even like, I don't know, like a more than like a consistent part of his shot diet. Like if he really starts to think that he is Trae Young, I think that is and will become an issue rather than being, I have all of these tools and I can use them equally. Instead of, okay, now I'm leaning on this instead of, going down and driving and really just abusing the fact that you are 7'6" and as athletic and as nimble as you are.
He's not doing that. I think it'd be cool if the best shot blocker we've ever seen is also the best shooting big man you've ever seen. If that's the final outcome, I think that'd be pretty fucking awesome.
What's the point of being 7'6" if you're like, but like when you're little and like you see people dunking, you're like, man, if I could dunk, I'd never take a jump shot. Like he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't. You
just like forget. Why?
No,
you just, like, forget about all the things when Wemby comes up, when big man comes up. You love Chet Holmgren.
You
but
are
when Wemby does it. You're like, nah, get down there.
Because think about how tall Chet is. And then add a couple more inches, and like Wemby is he's taller.
And now his shot is even more impossible to contest. It sounds awesome to me.
I need you to get down. I I don't need you to try to be, Pat Ewing just bang into people all day. I don't need that. But
I'm sure the balance is gonna get there. It's gonna get there.
It will.
That's all I want. It's just balance.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the main topic of this episode. Let's talk about the most underrated player on every single NBA team. You guys know how it goes. All three of us have 10 teams to talk about. All three of us pick 10 underrated players to talk about. We're going to go one by one until we reach every team. Now, I saw the comments last week. Once again, I think Mo forgot to talk about one of his teams, and it was the Pistons. Pistons fans felt very wrong the last episode. Just know every time we do this, Mo's going to forget a team. This is the second time in a row. It's going to happen. So whoever gets wrong this time, I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
30 teams is a lot of teams. I'm sorry.
Exactly, bro. Just like y'all, I'll be ready to get on.
All right, Mo, you go first. Who is the first underrated player you want to talk about this year?
We should just start with the Pistons. Whoever has the Pistons. We should just do that.
I have the Pistons, but it's not going to be a fun conversation.
Okay, let me start this off. Okay. The Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
They have surpassed a lot of expectations earlier this season. I believe for just a quick second, they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Obviously, things have changed just a little bit because their best player, KD, went out with injury, and we're going to get him back in a few weeks, I believe. But through the first 10-ish games, watching them fully healthy, the most underrated player who seems to not get enough conversation because of the way hierarchy is in the NBA is Bradley Beal. So far in this season, he has fully adapted and bought into the I am the third guy on this team, and he's been doing all the nitty-gritty things, focus more on playmaking, a lot less on buckets, focus on rebounding, defending at a good enough rate, and he's been an essential piece to just filling in all the games. He's obviously super talented. We've seen him at spurts play point guard for the Washington Wizards, have to get rebounds and defend really well at a high level back when he was teammates with John Wall and stuff like that. So seeing him fully like adapt and be bought in and not be overly focused on buckets and just give effort on all other aspects of the court has been also been making this team work on all levels. Like Tyus Jones is there, of course. Mike Budenholzer is there to like set up all the plays and just put him in perfect spots. But Bradley Beal's mindset shift is what makes him super overrated or underrated to me.
Yeah, and I thank Mike Budenholzer with all my heart for making us see one of the best versions of Bradley Beal we've ever seen. I think this version of Bradley Beal we've seen this year is probably a more productive player than when he was averaging 30 as a one option on the Wizards. And, you know, we talked a lot about Budenholzer is going to get this three-point volume up. It's what he does. He's a modern player who gets... I'm not a modern coach who knows how to win in the modern NBA, which it really comes down to the three-point volume battle. It's a big part of the game in the regular season, at least. And they, in turn, have been a top 5 three-point volume team. And those threes have to come from somewhere. Bradley Beal is currently shooting 46% of his shots from three-point range. That's way higher than he's ever shot in his life. His highest is when he was really young. In 2017, he shot 39% of his shots from three.
Yep.
So substantially more than back when he was a fucking sharpshooter next to John Wall. And he's been insanely efficient. He's shooting 78% at the rim, just picking and choosing his spots, being lethal in that role. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this is like the interesting part about a lot of teams, because like coming into the year, you see the Suns and a lot of us like that situation is messed up. Like they're probably cooked for the decade, and you look at how they went out in the playoffs, and then boom, you get a competent coach, and now things like get to fall into place, and then you add Tyus Jones, and now like Bradley Beal doesn't have to play out of position. Devin Booker doesn't have to play crazy out of position, and there's a difference when you have like bad systems and good systems where people do play out of position, but it's because they are like versatile. Now you can play more like positionless rather than I'm trying to fit a round peg into I'm trying to fit a what's the thing?
Keep trying.
The square peg into a round hole. There you go. I was trying to figure out.
That boy went to Crown Eater University.
It's been a while, but yeah. So like, I think like figuring out how to maximize Bradley on this team, and it's also year 2. Like we take for granted a lot of times when you throw 3 stars together. Year 1 you're almost never going to win a championship when you just throw a bunch of stars together. It takes time to develop chemistry. So it doesn't shock me that they are, I guess, better this year, or that they feel more comfortable playing off of each other, especially with Bud there. So I was honestly shocked that you picked Brad Beal too, because I thought that like you were going to go with like Ryan Dunn or something like that. But that's a really good pick.
Yeah.
And I also like how whenever I was really high on them in the preseason, and a big part why is good coach plus 3 stars with good depth. Like that's a good formula. And I think we saw that in the first game a couple days ago when KD went out. They played the Jazz, who are the worst team in the West, so easy lick. But as expected, they have these 3 stars and enough role players that when one's missing, they can slide around the rotation and still be a very good team. Bradley Beal scored an efficient 24 points per game and just like became that second option with KD gone, where Devin Booker at 31, stepped into the first option role. And they looked great. It looked like they hardly lost a step. They lost this game to the Kings. The Kings are a good team at home, so they're not going to beat every team without their best player. But it's nice that they can remain afloat. Also, Bradley Beal didn't even play this game, so irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like whenever we talk about Bradley Beal on this pod over the last year and a half ish, it's never been like with great joy, because it's like, Bradley Beal, $50 million, no trade clause, cancerous NBA contract. Like that's how we would. Like,
no, we don't think. No, who thinks that up here? Nobody's that extreme about it.
It's just like no one wants Bradley. No one would want Bradley Beal on their team. And
we have talked about him. Like that.
I thought he was good last year. I don't hate Bradley Beal.
We didn't hate him, but it's like we never had like pep in our step talking about Bradley Beal. There was never super
it's not an exciting situation.
But now it's super exciting. I would want a guy like that on my team, being super connective and just like not being really selfish at all, not being killing basketball and all that. Like sign me up. He's doing great.
Biggest problem last year was he was injured. He was honestly nearly this good last year too, just less 3-point volume, but he just couldn't stay healthy, and that's what really fucked him in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Here we are, man. What's your first team, Donovan?
My first team, let's go with the Milwaukee Bucks, actually.
Okay, who was underrated on this terrible ass team?
They got this dude fitting into the role, fulfilling every stereotype. Man's name is AJ Green, and he is a sniper.
The great white hope for Milwaukee.
AJ Green, right? The Bucks had tweeted this out the other day. They would, they're bigging up their guy. He said AJ Green is shooting 59.4% from three this season. He is, I think, for them, when you have Giannis and he's running fullback dive and doing all this, like you do want spacing behind him, and you thought like, hey, maybe Gary Trent could be that, and that's going to be good on the minimum. Gary Trent was playing awful. Taurean Prince is, he's getting run, but your idea is we are going to have this dynamic guard with Dame. We're going to have Giannis, who is, top 2, top 3 best player in the world, and we're going to surround him with shooters. Brook Lopez is one of them. And when that happens, it forces people to make a bunch of decisions. And having somebody as efficient who can come off the bench and having somebody who can be in your lineup and in your rotation, like AJ Green, and instantly provide offense and provide spacing, that's massive. And so, like, they suck, and they're going to lose a lot of games this year. But having somebody like that is a bright spot. And so while we're all talking about the fit between Giannis and Dame, be watching for AJ Green.
On the highlights that are on screen, he just got scored on twice in a row.
I didn't say anything about his defense. I said he comes into the game and he shoots that thing.
Yeah. No, I like players like him. I love when I look at a shot chart and like look at the shot distribution, and it's like nearly 100% 3-pointers.
Yeah.
It's like that guy has a job and he knows what it is. AJ Green, 98% of his shots are from three. I love that number. That's just hilarious.
That's
I
a
need more
Duncan
guys
Robinson.
like him.
That's a Duncan Robinson type archetype, bro. I think he's the first player where it got really disgusting. Like he just was straight up only shoot threes. That's like, all right, bro. You can get to the rim a little bit, but I love it.
Some people have a role.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay, it just shot. That's the spirit of the underrated players thing. Like some guys, I'm gonna pick some like kind of star level guys too. Like he picked Bradley Beal. Mm-hmm. AJ Green is the spirit of why we do this. That's a good fun pick.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know who else you pick on this fucking team. I suppose you didn't have much of a choice now, did you?
No, not really. I have a couple like that where it's like I honestly don't know who to pick. So so you guys are just gonna give whatever I give you.
Well, let's talk about a team that I know exactly who to pick. Let's talk about perhaps currently the most underrated player in the league based on how he's playing. I'm going to go ahead and mute Mo's mic so I can talk without ejaculation. Dyson Daniels is the most underrated player on the Hawks. Dyson Daniels is so unbelievably good. I watched most of this game against the Boston Celtics, the first game of the play-in tournament. And dude, he is such a fucking demon defensively. His defensive playmaking skills are outrageous. It's like the Atlanta Hawks, formerly the Pelicans, formerly the G League, formerly wherever he played in high school, asked the bold question: what if Alex Caruso was 6'8"? That's what he is at this point. He is that type of defensive ball hawking ability. He has some wiggle getting to the rim. His jump shot's terrible. Maybe that'll come along. We're not going to talk about that today. But he has just filled the role that DeJounte Murray left behind so perfectly. And I say that DeJounte left behind. I should say he fills the role that DeJounte Murray was meant to provide when he got traded to the Hawks.
Exactly.
The defense was supposed to be the calling card next to Trae Young. We have a lockdown, big defensive guard next to him that can make Trae Young insanely easy to hide defensively. DeJounte was never like that. DeJounte said, I want to be Trae Young. I want to take off the dribble jumpers and I want to put the ball in the motherfucking bucket. And he was not focused on defense like that. All Dyson Daniels has ever focused on in his goddamn life is defense. He's never woke up and thought anything other than I'm going to steal that ball. His block rate is the highest in the NBA among guards. His steal rate is the highest in the NBA among guards. He's just incredible. He's exactly what the Hawks needed. And if you're somebody that wants to buy stock in the Hawks, one of the biggest reasons you should is because Dyson Daniels is going to be there next to Trae Young for a long time.
What did I say? The Atlanta Hawks are not going to have not only one most improved player of the year candidate, but two on this team. Jalen Johnson, I got bad news for you because Dyson might steal your award.
Jalen's not in those talks anymore. No, he's not. But Dyson is. Dyson's in those talks for sure. Yeah, man, 3.6 steals a game right now. That's ridiculous. He shoots 69% at the rim and 45% from mid-range. Those are just great numbers. Those are very good tertiary scorer numbers. The Hawks defense is 8.7 points better with him on the court. If the season ended today, he would be first team all defense. He'd probably be like third in defensive player of the year voting even. He has been the best guard defender in the league right now.
I love it. Now, Landry Fields, if you're watching this, all we need to do is find 3 more Dyson Daniels, and then our team is set. 3 more of those guys, and we're good, bro. Clone his ass.
I know what that is. That makes you the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's them with Caruso, J-Dub, and Casey Wallace. Just like the most ball-hawking guards of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
He's fantastic. He's everything you could hope for.
Yeah, I agree. He's been, when it comes to, I would say, a semi-disappointing season for the Hawks because no one really expected this team to be roaring over 500. Injuries and also like the talent on the team, relying on a rookie like Zachary say so far. It's tough. But with what Dyson Daniels has shown alongside the progression that Jalen Johnson has shown also is just like a new element of just like, holy shit, we could be cooking something here. We might have like found another foundational piece through like the consistent failure after failure after failure foundational pieces that we've experimented with since we had Trae Young. We've had no guys to be a part of the Trae Young regime so far, and in his year 7, I guess, we have 2 guys now. It's just stumbled across by him, so he's gonna be one of the saving graces for this team if we ever do something interesting.
Yeah, once they trade Trae Young this summer and really reset, you can build around Dyson Daniels.
Anyways, next team, who do you want to
They
talk
really
about?
could do that. They really could do that. It's on you, though.
Next team. All right. Let's talk about, this is a real shitter. Let's go ahead and get it out the way. The Portland Trailblazers. This is a team that I would 100% forget.
Yeah, real shitters.
Oh, man. When this guy was placed on this team, I believe last year, I think he was part of the KD trade or something like that too. I was like, who the hell is Too Many Cameras? And why is his name on my screen right now? His name is Toumani Camara. He is a two-way demon on the Portland Trailblazers. Now, if you're a Portland fan, you would know that there's not too many things to be proud of in that city, basketball-wise. All right, I'm not shitting on your economy. Who knows? You guys might be
your economy.
All right,
who gives a fuck about the economy? Where'd that come from?
Maybe it's listen, man. I've been. It's political.
Listen, their timber exports. Their exports are great.
Political moment. Get a grip.
Political mo's in
Shut
the building.
fuck up.
Toumani Camara, bro. There's nothing you would know if you're a Blazers fan. There's not that many things that you would be proud of when it comes to that team. DeAndre Ayton's not doing too much. Anthony Simons has had up and downs. Shaedon Sharpe has been injured for a chunk of the season, but he just came back. And your number 2 pick overall 2 years ago or whatever last year has not been great in the slightest. Toumani Camara is a bright spot. Shout out to him.
He kind of reminds me of Keegan Murray. I feel like he's their Keegan Murray. Now, they don't have the De'Aaron Fox yet. They don't have their Sabonis yet. They don't have their DeRozan yet. They don't have their Keon Ellis yet. But they got their Keegan Murray.
They don't have the Mike Brown yet.
They damn sure got Mike Brown yet. They got the furthest thing. But no, he's good. He's a 6'8" wing that is going to take threes, and he's going to be a very active defender. He knows that he uses size, and he has that length to like really disrupt plays. He has a very high steal rate. Like, he's the perfect player to like insert into a young core next to stars. It looks like Klingon's going to be the dude. It looks like Sharp is going to be the dude. It's like their 2 core starters right now. TB fucking D with Scoot Henderson. But whoever we insert into there this year, whether it be Ace Bailey or, God forbid, Cooper Flagg, whoever it may be, there's like a 100% chance that Toumani Camara will fit with whoever you insert into that role.
Yeah.
There's no chance he's not going to be a good part of this rotation.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a Blazers fan, take that home with you. Be happy about it, and you can throw away the rest of the season.
He was out there giving Anthony Edwards buckets in his face.
Next week, we will talk about those 2 fucking games and talk about the Timberwolves. They are, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
interesting.
Let's listen. My next team. Let's go to the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. I guess for them, underrated, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Like, nobody else is really like Anthony Edwards. We already know. Like, there's no way that he's underrated. Rudy Gobert is doing Rudy Gobert things. Julius Randle.
He's been kind of ass.
I don't know. I mean, everything.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. Everything about like that situation is kind of just weird right now. The one thing that you can kind of look at for them and be like, oh, like this is actually pretty good, I would say is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And because while they are trying to figure out their 1-2 punch offensively with Ant and Julius Randle, having guys on the perimeter, especially when Dante DiVincenzo is not knocking down shots at the rate that you thought he would. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is shooting pretty well from three, and he is like a bright spot for their spacing and for their shooting. And so I think right now, like there's a lot of issues. And again, next week we will talk about a lot of them. There's a lot of issues with the Timberwolves. Nickeil Alexander-Walker isn't really one of them, and especially because coming into this year, we saw the draft picks that they made, and we were like, oh, they drafted stuff for instant offense and for some more offensive juice in Rob Dillingham and in your man Shannon. They don't play like So Nickeil Alexander-Walker is kind of like the guy, like the extra offense, especially like when my colleague goes out. So shout out to him because he's
also there.
Yeah, he has been playing well.
He's their only point of attack defender on the roster. They have like two good perimeter defenders, Jaden McDaniels and NAW. And Jaden McDaniels is awesome. He's a big wing defender. You want him being able to like help with the nail and be the big wing role you expect. You have exactly one good perimeter defender that can be the point of attack defender on a point guard and fight over screens, and that's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Not that Mike Conley's a cone. Dante DiVincenzo has some chops there. He's gritty, sneaky, athletic, and all that stuff. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker is genuinely a very good defender.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah. One of the most elite the league has to offer at the backup position specifically.
The Timberwolves have pissed me off so much.
Me too, man.
They've upset me so much.
We will talk about them at length next week on the big episodes coming next week. Big episode.
Who's next, Isaac? Who would you like to deem as underrated in this show?
Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Woo!
Interesting.
It's probably the last time I can call this guy underrated because the tides are about to fucking turn. I'm about to be a rich man because I invested all my stock in the last 3 years into Darius Garland, and it is coming. God. It is coming.
I love it.
It's been great. It's been fantastic. Last year, a lot of people were mean to me because I kept saying Darius Garland is better than your favorite young player. We did a young players ranking last year, and I still ranked Darius Garland ahead of Alperen Sengun, and Rockets fans were on my ass.
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong, neither here nor there. I guess they're similar close players. I like Sengun good enough. But people were mad at me because Darius Garland was having a very terrible year. Coming off of his broken jaw, he lost 10 pounds, clearly lost a lot of confidence. There was question marks about his ability to play next to Donovan Mitchell. The offense they were running under their former coach was terrible. It was a nightmare scenario for Darius Garland, a player who I've been hyping up for years. The first year of this show, I had him in conversations with some of the best young guards in the league right now because he was a young all-star, and I fully believe in that trajectory. Did not go well last year, and people kind of forgot about him. He was written off. Yada, yada, yada. This guy's back. And not only is he back, he looks better than he's ever looked. Even when he was good, he was a pretty bad clutch performer in terms of like his scoring ability. And it was often kind of a disaster when the ball was in his hands with 5 minutes left to go, down by 5 or whatever. This year, he has been so unbelievably amazing in the clutch. He is currently 9th in clutch points per game in the league, and he shoots 80% from the field in these situations. It's amazing. He's so good. He's back. You know how I mentioned with Bradley Beal that they have a new coach who's making them do high 3-point volume? That shooting has to come from somewhere in the starting lineup. Same type of deal with Kenny Atkinson. He came in and rescued this team. And people may be wondering, how are they such an amazing offense, top 3 in the league, with 2 non-spacing big men playing 20 minutes a game together? And that's because Darius Garland is shooting 47% of his shots from 3 and shooting 45% from 3. He's a fucking sniper. He does not miss. He's everything this offense needs.
Yeah.
It's about time. Yeah, it's about time. I remember like two weeks ago. Has it been 2 weeks? I don't know. A while ago, I tweeted out while Darius Garland was having another heater, one of his many this season. I was like, I feel like I had Bitcoin in 2008. Because this whole pot, all of us have stayed very, very steady on the fact that Darius Garland is still a very, very good basketball player. And the fact that like, it's so crazy just how fast things move in the NBA, because this offseason, we were like, oh yeah, Darius Garland is getting traded. His agent came out and they were like, if Donovan Mitchell resigns, we're asking for a trade. And he, D. Mitch immediately got the contract and we're like, oh, okay, I guess that's it. 2 straight playoff exits. You fire the coach. I guess it's going to be big changes. And now the Cavs look like the prime team. It's them and the Celtics as the only 2 actual good teams in the Eastern Conference.
Isn't this cool? They told Rich Paul to beat feet. Get the fuck out of here. We're going to stick with our duo. We'll figure it out with the new coach. And none of us saw this coming. I was like, okay, I mean, I guess you run it back, but I'm skeptical it'll work with a new coach just because you want it to. I'm skeptical that Darius Garland will eventually get traded. I was fully expecting for it to not go great. I thought they'd be like, what I picked them? I think I said 4 or 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think up a 4 seed. So I thought they'd be fine, but I fully expected another playoff flameout and fully expected Darius Garland to eventually be on a new team because Rich Paul wanted to be so, which probably means Darius Garland kind of wanted to be so at some point. Now it's not the case. Everything is well. They're playing great. The young core finally is growing into each other. They're all playing really well. If I was a Cavs fan, I'd be nothing but optimistic right now.
You haven't lost a game. Where's
Exactly.
like there's nothing to be pessimistic about. This is one of the best starts in franchise history that you guys have had. So
yeah, and it's not even just they haven't lost a game. It's how they're winning these games and how much Evan Mobley is growing to his role. A lot of the issues about him and Jared Allen are being alleviated because Evan Mobley is just a crazy aggressive scorer, finishing over people with his length. So it almost doesn't matter as much if there's no spacing because if there's a guy in front of him, he's just going to put over his fucking head. And it matters less that Darius Garland is playing next to another kind of sort of point guard-ish player because he makes all of his spot-up threes. So these guys are just fit now. As long as that stays the way it is, there's almost no issues.
Yeah, I agree. I want to touch on what you just said. Like, it's not even about – it's about how they're winning, really. Like, they're winning handily. They have a recipe, a formula that I don't want to say it feels unbeatable, but literally it's unbeatable right now, especially when all these guys are shooting hyper efficient. Now, can we expect that to maintain throughout the entirety of the season? No, obviously. But in the way that they're getting the wins and the game plan of like having Evan Mobley be like roam around on offense and seeing him be more aggressive while also Darius Garland do what he does and being more so relegated to the 3-point line instead of dancing on everybody between the mid-range and in the paint is beautiful. Meanwhile, you also have Donovan Mitchell doing the same exact Donovan Mitchell things. And like the other guys, the Dean Wades of the world, Max Strus is not even there yet. The Dean Wades of the world, what's that dude?
I forgot about Max Strus.
Yeah, exactly. Same. So they're going to be even better when he comes back. Isaac Okoro's doing his thing. And then they have, what's that dude? Karis LeVert. That's that dude. Karis LeVert playing extremely
Ty Jerome.
well.
Ty Jerome is sleeping.
Yeah, they're loaded. They're deep. They're loaded.
He would have been my pick.
They have
if
no
the Celtics
weakness
didn't have
on
the
this
best team we've seen in the past however many years, I would fully expect the Cavs to make a finals run at this point based on how they looked. I would feel so okay if a Cavs fan told me they should be the favorites in the East. Sadly, Celtics exist, so they're not the favorites in the East. But if they didn't exist, I would be with you Cavs fans.
Hey, a couple podcasts ago, I said that I misspoke. I said the Cleveland Cavaliers could look the Celtics in the eye. They can't look them in the eye, but they could look them in the nose for sure. You're on my ass. You're like, they cannot look them in the eyes. I'm like, bro, they can take them like 5-6 games for sure. Absolutely. They were the hardest team that they faced throughout the entire
That doesn't mean
playoffs.
anything. 5-6 games. That doesn't mean
Hey,
shit.
it means if you're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, it means something. It just
Taking
don't mean nothing to
someone
you.
5 games doesn't mean anything.
It means something, bro.
You're right. They can look
Yeah.
them in the eyes. I'll take that back. You're right. They can look them in the eyes. I don't know if that means a thing. They can look real confident in their eyes. I don't know if that means they'll win, but
That means something because like 95% of the NBA, especially in the Eastern Conference, can't do shit against these guys.
Yeah, they can look. They can look all right.
Them boys are cheeks. The Eastern Conference is awful.
I know.
They're
what's your next
historically
team?
bad almost. Okay, so my next team, it's another shitter. Let's just go ahead and get it out the way. All right.
How many shitters
The
you got?
Toronto Raptors.
Oh God, that's
A little
shit
bit
alert.
amount, but yeah, there are other shitters that are actually fun to me, but Toronto Raptors are just not that fun. Now, Raptors fans, they're probably having a lot of fun because this is a real tanking year, and they're starting to see and have like a lot of pieces on their roster start to come into one, whether it be Grady Dick finding his own, being a 20-point per game scorer, or like Emmanuel Quickly doing his thing too.
Messing with my eyes.
Look at his sweater.
Weren't people calling
Scotty
him
Barnes
like,
got that shit on. Look at this sweater.
Did you see that
they was
Hey Arnold
hating.
meme?
They were saying he was Arthur.
Oh, Arthur, there we go.
Yeah, they was hating on it.
Wait,
I
hold
don't
on.
know what the glass is, but I fuck with the sweater.
Hmm.
All right, okay. Well, who's the most underrated player on the Raptors? Because they've had some good young pieces.
This
I'm
purple's
interested in which one
crazy.
you think is the most underrated.
Can you change?
Yeah,
highlights?
so
Get over it, old man.
so the most underrated player on the Toronto Raptors has to be Ochai Agbaji.
Yeah, there you go. Right answer.
He was drafted back in the year 2022. I believe like originally by the Cleveland Cavaliers, but ended up being Utah Jazz. And for the Utah Jazz, he wasn't performing or living up to any real expectation. And he was one of those young 3-and-D role players who just had to find his way and take his time to, find his real strengths and get used to playing NBA basketball. And since then, He's done that. As his second year now as a Toronto Raptor since he was traded there last year. I think this year he's averaging just about 13 points, shooting hyper efficiently from the 3-point line. And it's fair to say, like, he actually has a spot in this team, and they are starting to build a foundation. He's not like he's an important piece, but he's not like one of the guys. So far this season, putting up like 13 points on 47% shooting from the 3-point line on 4 attempts per game. He's hyper efficient. Obviously, it's not going to like maintain, but considering where he was at last year, totally averaging like 6 points per game on just meh efficiency, 33% from the field. He went from like just a usable role player for like 5-10 minutes per game to like, no, like we probably have to play this guy 20 minutes a game to increase our chances to win. He's up to status.
Whenever they made this trade last year, we all liked it. I don't remember your guys' exact enthusiasm for it, but I was like, hell yeah, you get rid of Kelly Olynyk and you get this guy in who's a young player that could be like, you know, he's like untapped potential with a team that hasn't used him super well, hasn't used him very much. Like he was not getting a ton of minutes with the Jazz. And it worked out exactly as hoped. It was a great, you know, swing. What do they call it? I think Bill Simmons coined it a second draft guy, a guy who needs to go to a second team after being a high pick and get a second opportunity, essentially drafted a second time by a team that wants to take a new swing on them. That's precisely what this was, and it worked exactly well. I'm very excited for when they're fully healthy, and especially when they draft another top 5 person. Let's say they get the best big in the draft, which would be ideal. You have your point guard in quickly, and Grady Dick is a fucking sniper now, so he's great too. To be able to have the versatility of Agbaji, Barrett, and Barnes as like a wing trio with different lineups, that's going to intrigue me very fast if they get another star there.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because they are like Mo said, like they're in a very like prime tanking place where they actually are like the fun tanking team. Where you can see, like, you know, like you can see the pieces of the foundation, and especially now that Grady Dick is just like, yeah, like, you know, I just won't miss. Like I'm just good now.
I don't do that.
So I actually really like the Raptors. I've hated on the Raptors in the past. Listen, might have to be an honorary Raptors fan in the next couple of years. Who knows?
Oh yeah, you just hate Canada.
I rock with Canada.
You rock with the Canadians?
Run the tapes. Run the tapes. He does not rock with Canada.
It's them.
Who's them?
I'm finna pull up. It's the Raptors. It's like them specifically. But like
I kind of like the Raptors as an organization.
Toronto? I don't know.
No, I didn't like the Raptors whenever they kept fucking running back mid for all those years when Masai was being hard-headed. I hated that. But listen, I like the Raptors' aura. They have really good jerseys, really good branding. They have a hardcore fan base. They run a country. I hope they're good one day. I like the Raptors as an organization.
Yeah, it's not bad. They're cool.
Is it my turn or no? It's Donovan's turn.
I think it's Donovan's turn.
All right. Once again, another stinker. Let's get him out the way. I had a very, very hard time figuring out who was underrated for the New Orleans Pelicans, because everybody that would be underrated is now in the starting lineup. Like they're all playing. They're missing all of their key guys. They don't have any space for anybody to be underrated. So yeah, that's really it. Like I
got something for you.
They don't have it.
On the same
note, I will say.
Mo, I want you to answer. Wait, because I want you to answer mine too. Because let's do both these teams together. I have the Pistons. Who the fuck is underrated on the Pistons? Not anybody. Like, not to say they're all bad, but who's underrated? All their players have high draft cachet, so they're rated, or they're old and not interesting. So, Mo, I want you to take this moment to give us an underrated player for the Pelicans and the Pistons, because me and Donovan have failed our assignments.
Okay. So for the Pelicans, someone who I view as underrated, and also someone who fits into that Bill Simmons like second draft team guy. I think his name is Brandon Boston. He's from Atlanta. His name is Brandon Boston. He's someone who was drafted highly touted, came from Kentucky, and was a meh guy.
I feel like we've been stuttering a lot today.
Yeah. He's a guy who didn't get any playing time back when he was in LA.
I'll be right back.
Simply because he was playing behind Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, Westbrook and Harden back in those days. He didn't get no burn no matter what. And time is fizzled out. He got picked up by the New Orleans Pelicans because everyone got injured. The goddamn injury Slim Rippy came through, started slashing everybody's hamstrings, knees, ankles, wrists, and all that. And he's been a very, very bright spot. But also, I don't want to say like a little bit of a curse, but once everyone starts to get healthy again, it's gonna kind of suck because it's gonna be like, damn. Now we got another wing who's also very good and also deserves a good amount of minutes.
And knowing them, and knowing
that doesn't
them,
suck to me. That's great.
Well, knowing them, they're not going to like trade him or play him or do anything. They're just going to.
They're going to trade Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram's getting traded.
Okay. So I didn't want to put Bi, but I think that like, if we talk about like our earlier conversation about Bradley Beal, I think Brandon Ingram is kind of in that space where like he just needs another situation and he needs a coach that's going to optimize him because he's, it's just Bi right now. You know that he's never going to be the best player on a championship team. But why can't this guy who is averaging, in the mid to high 20s, why can't he go somewhere and be productive for another really, really good team and help them?
He definitely can.
I think like the Pelicans talked all summer about, okay, we're going to make major changes and we're going to, trade people and like Bi, like you should probably be looking for somewhere else to live, and nobody bit. And now going into the second half of this season, second half we just started, but going into like the rest of this season and then next year, somebody probably can take a swing on Bi and you will get better. Like he's a weird fit, but there are some teams that are going to be out there who need a wing who can just get buckets. And that's exactly the role that Bi needs to be in. And he's doing that right now. So I feel like from a general sense, Bi has become underrated in the league.
Yeah, Bi is a good pick. Because, he's underrated because like even we probably subconsciously underrate him, even though we like him fine enough. Just because the only reason we talk about him ever is because we say he needs to get traded, which is to no fault of his own. It's not because he's bad or because he has been anything other than who he is. He's fine. It's just a fit issue, right? So probably just the cloud of gonna get traded probably makes us forget how good he is.
Mm-hmm. All right,
what about the Pistons?
For the Pistons.
Who's underrated the Pistons? Because I like Cade. I'm getting kind of scared. Because even when Cade does well, man, his turnovers are ridiculous.
Yeah.
This man cannot stop turning the ball over. His handle is not very good. His passing is good, not great.
Yeah.
I'm getting worried about Cade as like a number one guy. I think he's good. People shit on him a little too much sometimes. I think he might be a tertiary guy more than a lead offensive type of guy.
Exactly.
So I don't think he's underrated. Jaden Ivey, I wanted to pick him. That hot shooting from the mid-range kind of fizzled out as time went on, and he's still not a good passer. Just Jaden Ivey is fine. Duren can't defend a fucking thing as much as I like him as an offensive player. Who's underrated here?
Bro, Pistons fans are going to hate me because, again, I have no guys for you. Just for all the reasons you said, there's no real guy who's underrated.
JB Bickerstaff.
I guess it could go. He could be the first solid coach team here.
So, Pistons fans, I know we forgot to talk about you guys last week, so we don't hate you guys. You guys have been very, very impressive for your standards. You almost beat the terrible Bucks, but you look competent in a way you certainly did not last year. So, no slight to the Pistons. I like their trajectory. I just think for the underrated conversation, they don't really have anybody that fits the role. Last year, I would have said Simone Fontecchio. He hasn't done shit this year, so I'll still say him. I like Fontecchio. I liked him a lot last year. We'll wait to see him get going, but macro sense, Fontecchio is underrated.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one.
All right, cool.
Sad.
What's your next team, Mo?
All right, so my next team that we can go ahead and again, I have a lot of get it out the way teams, but actually, maybe you guys might want to get it out the way. But this is kind of fun to me talking about the Chicago Bulls. They started off the season on a really fun tip, and they are playing a different, more enthusiastic style and brand of basketball. And something that tends to just get overlooked is Nikola Vucevic, aka Vucci Man. He's been playing some of the better basketball that we've seen over the last few years, really since his entire Chicago Bulls era. Yeah. Shooting it really well from three, I believe. And he's I don't want to say the helm of this team, but in terms of consistency, that's that guy. I have fun watching him now. And that's something I wasn't able to say at all about the Bulls or anything like that. So shout out to Vucci.
I don't hate that pick. I think both. I think for Vuce and for Zach LaVine, LaVine would have been my pick because I think it's kind of the same thing as the Brandon Ingram conversation where we spent all last season and all offseason saying this guy needs to get traded, he has to get traded, and nobody wanted to take a swing on Zach LaVine. And you get into the season and he's played really, really well. And it's oh yeah, he also can be a very high level scorer and he can go to a contender and make an actual difference. And the fact that you are playing this much more like open flow, free flowing style of basketball, that leads to, that's exactly, how you use, Zach LaVine, who's still very athletic, who can, if we're just out here running and gunning and getting up shots, Zach LaVine likes to get up shots. And so he fits that very well. So I think LaVine and I think Vucevic, who last night against the Knicks, I mean, him and Cat were going back and forth. He was hooping. So, yeah, I like those two picks.
Yeah. Vucci Man right now is averaging 21-10. He's shooting like 45% from the three-point line. He's just been ridiculous for his standards. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bulls.
Shout out, man. There you go. Don, what's your next team?
We will go to the Los Angeles Clippers, and we're going to talk about Chris Dunn because I like Chris Dunn a lot. I think Chris Dunn is a very, very good defender, and I think that for the Clippers, we know like their offense it is what it is. And even with Norman Powell playing like out of his mind, I think that like their foundation for this season is going to be Chris Dunn. Is going to be their defense, and Chris Dunn certainly does help that. And so I think that like when you try to like build these teams, especially around like a very, I guess like ball dominant guard, whether if it's James Harden or Trae Young or Luka or guys like that, the formula kind of is, okay, we're gonna have this like the offensive guard at the 1, and then we're gonna have somebody at the 2 who can go in and do that. And even though that Chris Dunn he only plays like 20 minutes a game, I just think that he's a demon, and that you can have these lineups with him and with James Harden, and eventually like it's gonna make a lot of sense. He just has to shoot more. Right. If he can ever get his like 3-point volume and 3-point consistency up to a decent level, Chris Dunn can be a like legitimate player who's playing like 30 plus minutes. Right now, he's not really in that role, but he's been really, really good this year. And I just think that, we should get some shine on him.
Great. Sorry.
y'all hate Chris Dunn? There's no love for Chris Dunn?
I mean, the Clippers are just like such a stale team. I'm just like,
I know.
Cool. Oh man, Isaac, you got your next team up?
I do. Which one do I want to do next?
That was so funny.
Let's do the Dallas Mavericks.
Shout out to the Clippers fans.
Let's talk about them.
I think it's Klay Thompson.
Oh, I love to hear it. I love to see it, and I love to see Donovan clench his face. Why is it Klay Thompson?
Klay was kind of written off as washed as fuck, and I like the signing for them because I said the issues he had in Golden State has more to do with the fact that he's been in the system and doesn't want to change how he plays in the system. He was taking too many hard mid-range shots, doing too much bag work off, running off of these screens, trying to play like old school Klay. And that part of his game had left him behind. What hadn't left him behind is his spot-up three-point ability. And that's what he's doing now in Boston. No, he's still running off of screens. I said in Boston. In Dallas. He's still running off of screens, still doing typical Klay stuff. But so many more of his shots are coming from three. He's shooting over half his shots from three-point range this year, which is way higher than it was last year. And he's been honestly exactly what we said he would. He is a new wrinkle in the Mavs offense that gives him a spacer that has a quick trigger. You can't help off of him. You have better spacing than you ever had before. Their offense hasn't been great so far. More of a Luka Doncic and Jason Kidd issue, if you ask me. But I think Klay is giving him good minutes. He's a good role there. It's been perfect for what you expect.
And I agree with you 100%. And so for that's why I'm saying I don't know if Klay Thompson is like the underrated guy, because I do think that he has stepped in there, and everything that we talked about in terms of, hey, you played a certain style of basketball for a decade. It's very hard to be in that system, in that place, and then Steve Kerr be like, yeah, actually, we need you to turn all of that off and be this specific role. Like, he could do it. He just had to be somewhere else. Golden State just couldn't be the place where he did that. And now that he's in Dallas, yeah, he's going to have nights like against the Warriors where he's 6 of 12 from three, and he's shooting really, really well. The 2 games before that, he didn't shoot well. He's like 1 for 7 and 1 for 6. I think that's the exact point that we're at in Klay Thompson's career. So I can't really call him. I think he's inconsistent at this point, but that's what I expected. I don't like want to hate on him. I don't want to like overpraise him. I just think that he is Klay Thompson, 34-year-old NBA player, and that's kind of just what it is.
Yeah, and So I don't think he's like a needle mover for like, you get Clay, you're a super team, you're winning a championship. But people were talking about him all summer like he was left for dead. Like, why would you give him this money? He's not going to do shit, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to. There was a big conversation on Twitter, I think with Live I Pick a Side, about does he make them better at all? Or will the Mavs be better? And he was a big, part of that conversation. His impact versus Derrick Jones. It wasn't necessarily him alone, but, his part of the equation. I think, yes, I think he's a weapon at this point. He's a role player. In the same way you look at a championship team adding Kyle Korver in 2017 or whatever. When the Cavs did that, we were like, oh shit, this new dimension to their team. They had this new shooter who can run off of screens, who uses gravity, and just add a new wrinkle to their offense. That's what Clay is at this rate. And he's probably going to be one of the best at that for the next 3 years before he retires. He's going to be just a lethal gravity creator, a shooter. It's going to be great. I think it's mostly, not that I think Clay is amazing. It's just that he was treated like he was nothing.
That's fair. Yeah, because there was also, and I've fallen into it too. It's like Klay Thompson went 0 for 10 in an elimination game. Like that was also like a very, prevailing part of the narrative around him. So yeah, that's fair. I do think that like having Clay here and having like, especially when Lucas decides to turn it on from three and having that amount of like shot making and spacing, that's going to be massive for them.
All right, Mo, what is your next team?
Y'all want to talk about one more shitter?
How many of these terrible teams do you have?
Don't worry about it. Pay attention. Look at your own damn list, all right?
Okay, who's next?
The Utah Jazz.
Okay.
You
got them. I'm pushing my mic away.
Threw up. Okay, so when it comes to the Utah Jazz, obviously they're super disappointing. I knew they're going to be asked, but I guess the masses assume that they're going to be okay. That's what their track record told you. But that's just not the case. They're just trash in every single way imaginable. Keontae George, second year so far, has not been good. But he's a second year sophomore point guard. He's shooting like 32 or 31% from the field. Yeah, nothing too much good you can say about that. All right. Walker Kessler. He's reinserting himself into being an important NBA player or useful NBA player, and you'd love to see that. But outside of that, John Collins doing his regular veteran thing. Same thing that could be said about Jordan Clarkson. Larry Markin has struggled a little bit. There's no real underrated player here unless you want to talk about their rookie, Kyle Flipkowski. He's averaging 6 points, 7 points per game.
Great.
That's the Utah Jazz, and we can move on. Shout out to y'all.
No, I think Walker Kessler's underrated. I think he had a rough year last year, and they benched him a lot for John Collins, and he seemingly fell out of favor after a rookie year that was like, I was like, oh, this guy's a good defensive player. Like, he is promising. He is high in my redraft. Kind of fell off last year. I think he's been good again this year. And I think a lot of fan bases have convinced themselves that he's available, that because he fell out of good graces last year, that they can go and get him for like some random shitty player they have or a first round pick. Lakers fans swear they're going to get him for like D'Lo or something, or maybe a protected first. You're not getting Walker Kessler. I think Walker Kessler's not going to get traded. I think he's good. And I think Danny Ainge knows this. He was just dangling to see somebody overpay because he's not untouchable. But people seem to think that he's just another guy. And Walker Kessler is a very good center that's going to be around for a long time.
I love it.
I hate Lakers fans. they're hilarious. I have another stinker that I want to talk about real quick.
It's still a good team. It's too many stinkers.
No. Real quick. It's the last stinker, and then we'll get to the good teams. I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh my God, go fuck yourself.
He said thank you like he's a comedian.
I know. I set that up well. I'm very proud of myself for that one. I'm saying, listen, I'm saying the young white boy, Dalton Connect, is underrated. I like Connect. For everybody else, I think everybody else is like basically having, about like who we thought they were. I think Austin Reeves is playing really well. But I think that Connect for them, like especially coming off the bench, gives them some shooting depth and gives them some spacing. And so I like what Connect has been able to provide in a small sample size this year.
Yeah. He's been really terrible defensively, and he can't set screens to save his goddamn life. But man, is that boy a bucket.
But we knew coming into the season, he's not a good defender. And so, I saw Dalton connect. I said, you have one job, knock down threes. He's knocking down threes. And I think that for everybody else, D'Lo, we're already yeah, you're getting traded, buddy. Rui, yeah, you're getting traded, buddy. AD's playing out of his mind. LeBron, we're not going to talk about that right now. And then, you have Reeves and Connect. So I like them.
Reeves, I guess it's not underrated because he's Austin Reeves, and he's obviously not underrated. He's very, respected, I guess.
Yeah,
he's been good.
He has been. You can't underrate Austin Reeves because he was overrated so quickly that now it's okay, we're good.
Yeah, but no, he's had a great year. JJ Redick has done really good stuff for him. He's scoring extremely efficiently. I swear every off the dribble three he takes coming off a screen or just step back, I'm it's going in. He's been so reliable, and I can't wait till they trade D'Lo so we can just fully have LeBron and Austin Reeves as the main creators there, which has been the case since they benched him. But his shooting uptick this year makes me very okay with trading D'Lo shooting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I can agree with that. Shout out to Dolphin Connect and the Lakers. I wouldn't have known who to pick for these guys either because everything is already set in stone, like you said. Said me, Trollline is a Hawks fan. I would say Cam Reddish came in there and saved LeBron's legacy.
Okay.
Extra defender.
Let's talk about the Houston Rockets.
Woo.
This is similar to my Dyson Daniels pick, where maybe two of the most underrated players in the league. It's very obvious. It's very easy without a single thought. And that is Tari Eason. Tari Eason has been the most productive bench player in the NBA, I think. And I say that, and it's not necessarily, when you hear productive bench player, you typically think 6 man of the year type, probably a fucking bucket coming off the bench, averaging 20. And that's not what he is. He is a defensive demon. Similar to Dyson Daniels, he is the most active active wing defender I've seen this year off the bench. Let me look at these numbers I wrote down because they're hysterical. Mm-hmm. He's a bench player. He has only played, I think, 26 minutes per game, which is pretty high for a bench player. Highest steal percentage of any forward in the league. Highest block percentage of any forward in the league. Third in offensive rebound percentage of any forward in the league.
Insane.
He's gotten better from three-point range every single year of his career. He's currently shooting 39% at the rim and 70% at the rim. Let's think about all the things I just said. Elite at steals, elite at blocks, elite at offensive rebounds, good at threes, elite at the rim. Where's the weakness and why is this guy not starting? He is currently on the bench because Jabari Smith Jr. has the cachet, has the clout, has the vision of the best version of him being really good in the starting lineup as a big that can shoot the ball. None of those things have occurred this year. He doesn't play big. He doesn't shoot the ball well. While Tari Eason has been a demon. He is so clearly one of their 5 best players. He needs to be a full-time starter.
Yeah.
Politics. Ruining a good lineup for Ime. And eventually, you think that Ime is going to get to a point where he's all right, I will start Tari. Because we've seen him bench other people before. We've seen him bench Jalen Green. We've seen him bench Şengün. All these guys who have, the high draft pick cachet, all the guys who have the big contract stuff. Last year, Udoka came in and it looked very clear. He's it doesn't really matter, right, what your standing is. If you are one of the 5 best guys, Ime is going to play you. And now you're looking at the Rockets and they have 2 guys, right, between Tari and Amen that are oh yeah, they need more burn. But yeah, he's a dog.
He's insane, man. And if that 3-point shot is real and he's gonna shoot 39% from 3, there's no justification for not starting him. That means he checks every box.
I cannot wait until the consolidation trade happens for the Houston Rockets. It's gonna hit crack from the 80s, and they're gonna go not flying in the Western Conference because everything's gonna be so tight and compact. But man, it's gonna be almost impossible to not see them as one of the best 9-8 teams in the Western Conference. Impossible later in the year.
And there we go. Shout out the Houston Rockets. Shout out Tari Eason. Dude, they're so weird of a team because they've been they have some wildly disappointing players, but they're still really good. Their defense is so real.
Yeah.
I can't wait until Şengün and everybody else starts really clicking and starts to positively regress. They're going to be good.
I agree. Okay, let's talk about another team that's semi-young in the Indiana Pacers. For my most underrated player on this team, I think it's pretty clear. He's been my guy since day one. Benedict Mathurin. Your name appear and has came out of my mouth once again, and I love to talk
What's
about you,
new?
dude.
What's new?
All right. Through all of the disappointments and just the constant frustration the Indiana Pacers have had throughout the entirety of the season, whether it be Rick Carlisle and his like militant type ways, or whether it be Miles Turner and his ability to be allergic to grabbing the rebound, and Pascal Siakam and his lack of touches or consistent touches, and I could even start at Tyrese Halliburton too. He's been more up than down as of late, but still hasn't been fully there as we kind of expect him to be. Bennedict Mathurin has been one of the like saviors of this entire season for them. He has had a very up and down career, whether it be through like health reasons or whether it be through like
Nice way to put it.
Yeah, health, ego reasons, or just like, we find a guy who works a little bit better in what's that dude's name again? Nembhard, yeah, Andrew Nembhard. Put him in place,
guy, dude. How'd you forget?
just like, he was my guy too. I have a lot of guys on the Pacers for some reason.
You love the Pacers so much.
No, I don't. Don't ever call me a Pacers fan. Indiana lover.
You have some connection to Indiana. You have some roots there that we don't know about.
I do not have no roots in Indiana. You hush your mouth. But Bennedict Mathurin on the realest end too. On the real end, Bennedict Mathurin is that guy, and he is he's there to fill in some holes that Tyrese Halliburton and meet some standards that Tyrese Halliburton doesn't necessarily have in him, which is just being a straight up dog, grabbing hella rebounds, putting his head down, diving towards the rim. That's what Bennedict Mathurin is, bro.
I got a text in one of our group chats the other day, one of my fantasy basketball chats with obviously NBA fans in there, and somebody said, "Nobody on the Pacers can dribble besides Bennedict Mathurin. What am I watching?" And that's how it feels sometimes. Yeah. It was a game, I forget who they just played, the Magic, and Tyrese Halliburton was in jail. He hit the Suggs slammer. And you felt that. He was like 2 for 10 from the field, getting clapped. He had some, he's playmaking well, but he could not score to save his life. Bennedict Mathurin's ability to create his own shot has been so essential to them this year. They haven't been great, but they would be even worse if Bennedict Mathurin was playing how he did last year, when he really had almost like kind of fell out of the rotation at times last year. He had completely lost the trust of his coach. And I don't know. I feel like he's probably on a short leash all the time just because he doesn't defend or pass the ball. But if he's going to be scoring this well, like, this is the vision you had for him as a rookie when you were hyping him up as like maybe a future all-star.
And they need him to be this version of himself, especially with how wide open and down bad the East is right now, because you're able to just go and like with Orlando and their injuries, Philly, Milwaukee, right, New York looking bad. That's 4 teams right now. Before the season, we thought that Indiana was going to be at like the 5 or 6 seed, right? Maybe even 7. I think I had them in 7. They have an opportunity right now to really, really rise up. And if they can get, Bennedict to play like this and Tyrese to just relax and, play somewhat of what we thought he was going to be like coming into the year, they can really skyrocket. And it wouldn't be shocking to look up and they are like the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference.
Oh yeah, the East is so shitty. You can.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's
3-game win streak gets you the 3 seed.
Everybody's bad, but they do
literally.
Need him.
The Brooklyn Nets are a 3-game win streak. The Brooklyn Nets are a 1 good week away from being a 3 seed. That's how terrible the East is right now.
Bennedict Mathurin, please come save the Eastern Conference. Y'all remember when Bennedict was a rookie and he was like, I think he said something like, I don't think anybody's better than me. If LeBron thinks he's better than me, he's gonna have to show me. He said,
show me.
He's just insane, bro. And the Pacers need that type of insanity injected into their backcourt. He said, "You have to show me."
Fuck. Your next team, Donovan.
We're gonna talk about the Miami Heat. We're gonna talk about how it is a white boy winter, and
I'm glad you picked him.
And Tyler Hero is underrated. Once again, we go through these cycles of trade talk, and there's a piece that gets dangled out. And when the Heat were trying to get Dame, they're like, "Hey, listen, Tyler Hero can be the center of your team, and you can have all this." And the Blazers like, it's just Tyler Hero. What does that mean? And a year and a half removed, Tyler Hero is out here hooping. He's averaging 25, 5 and 5, shooting 48% from 3, and with as bad as Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler are playing right now, Tyler Hero
and Terry Rozier.
Tyler Hero is the offense in Miami. He is carrying the offense. And when he is not out there, their offensive rating is 106.4. They have one of the worst offenses in the NBA when Tyler Hero is not on the floor. He has grown and he has developed his game. He is knocking down a crazy amount of shots, and they should be lucky right now that he is out here and that he is healthy, because once again, with how bad the Eastern Conference is, Tyler Hero is one of the only reasons why they are still competent right now, because the other two stars that they were banking on, carrying them to win, that's not happening. This is Tyler Hero's time, and this is Tyler Hero's team right now.
He's having a great year. This is the version of Tyler Hero everybody wanted and expected after that bubble run, when he was snarling, making all those faces, looking like he had all this white boy aura. Whoa, do that again. Make that noise again.
That's what he did.
No, he's been fulfilling that. Like, he's scoring at all three levels pretty well. Obviously, he's never gonna be a really good rim finisher, but he has enough shooting that he can create some penetration. He has some oomph attacking, keeping the ball moving. They have a very swing type of offense, and he fits into that as a play finisher and play creator. Shout out him, man, because he's preventing Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler from getting a lot of bad conversations around them by keeping them just afloat enough that people aren't noticing.
The whole team is falling apart, bro. Everybody's watching. Eric Spoelstra called a timeout when he didn't have a timeout. We've never seen Eric Spoelstra make a mistake like that. That's how you know it's going downhill in Miami. Everything's falling apart, and Tyler Hero is the only reason why they're competent right now. It's ridiculous. We've seen their offense for the last 4 years just be real. Okay, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out the mud. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real hard to get. And they've never been, like the Celtics or the Pacers and this team that's just gonna, run up and down and get all these easy buckets like that. But over the last couple of years, it's gotten worse and worse and worse, and more mid and more mid and more mid. And right now, we're at the point where they are completely depleted in terms of offensive juice. And Tyler Hero is the one person on their team that has legitimate offensive juice. And right now he deserves all the praise. If he could renegotiate a contract right now, he should, because he get a max.
I think he already has down here a max, doesn't he?
Run it back. Get the next max.
More.
Say give him $50 million. Good God.
He's playing like it. He's playing so well this year.
My next team, let's do the Warriors. They're hard to pick the most underrated player in the Warriors because everybody's just playing exceptional right now. They're on top of the goddamn world. We'll check in next week with you guys. Every week actually do it real quick. Are you guys ready to accept the Warriors are good? I've mentioned that for 3 weeks. I've been on the hype train for 3 weeks, and you guys keep giving me reasons why they're not good. Are you in reality? Have you seen the Warriors are a good team?
I told you I was gonna wait until after the stretch where they had Boston, Dallas, the Thunder, Grizzlies, all that. They've knocked them all down. Yeah. I am back. I'm back. Warriors Nation, Dub Nation. What is good? I'm here.
Yeah. And listen, the Mavs win was the most impressive one because that was a tough game where they lost the fourth quarter lead and came back with defense and shot making in the fourth quarter. Thunder, I didn't really give a shit. Chet went out 6 minutes in and they played 40 minutes with 5-guard lineups. So I didn't really give a fuck about that win. But this Mavs win was so good. They are a very good team, man. They're great. They're playing really well. It looks like 2022 all over again. They're just fully back to that form. So with that being said, who's underrated when you have a bunch of players who we didn't expect to be good and are not playing well? I think Draymond's probably the DPOY, so maybe he's underrated. Andrew Wiggins was terrible the past 2 years. He's really good. Maybe he's underrated. And Anthony Melton had the back of an 80-year-old man. I saw a Sixers fan tweet that this morning, last year. He's out here giving them good minutes. But there's only one person I can go with as the real most underrated player on this team. And that's Buddy Hield. It has to be Buddy Hield.
How? How's it Buddy Hield?
Anytime Buddy Hield's name has been mentioned in the last 4 NBA seasons, it has been, great shooter. He's Buddy Hield. We've seen this experiment. We know how it goes. He has some flashes, but he can never stay on a court, can never stay in a rotation. Damn, Mo is gulping. He can never do anything well for a coach because he can't defend jack shit. His offensive creation is very limited with the ball in his hands. He just never stays in rotations for obvious limitations he has. So the idea of Buddy Hield has been great, but he hasn't had impact to any team he's been on the last 4 years. When they signed him, none of us gave a flying fuck. We all said, oh, cool. You got Diet Clay. He can probably shoot like Clay now. We'll see if he can stay on the court because he hasn't been able to anywhere else. So I'm not going to get my hopes up that he can do that. And he has done way more than stay on the court. He has absolutely thrived. It looks like he's finally found the coach in the system that's perfect for him. Defensively, he's been fine. I actually saw this breakdown on Twitter. Let me find the journalist's name because it was a really good breakdown. That Draymond Green had a quote where he said, "We know who Buddy Hield is as a player. he likes to chase the ball, and that's always been his flaw. Is he's a terrible off-ball defender because he will ball watch, he will go for steals, and it's just an instant open three for whoever's guarding him. That's why he's never had an impact on a team before. The Warriors installed a system where when Buddy's on the court, he's a ball hawk. He goes for steals, goes for the ball, and everybody rotates around him. They go in knowing that let him be a playmaker and will fit in around him. That's been their explicit goal. Draymond talked about it. Great. That's precisely what he needed. Now he can do all the shooting he does coming off of screens, do all the Klay Thompson stuff. He's been lethal in transition. He's the sixth man of the year right now, without a doubt. Like, easily, he's the sixth man of the year right now. And I never would have expected Buddy Hield to look this good a day in my life.
Yeah, everything you said is facts. I'm with you. I didn't expect anything from Buddy, and I think even at this point, when I am now officially back in with the Warriors and I'm on Dub Nation, I'm on the bandwagon. I'm still like, we'll wait and see. Like we'll see if Buddy Hield can keep this up because we know what we've seen from Buddy Hield in the past. So yeah, I think that's fair to say that he's underrated because he's probably going to be underrated from that logic. He's going to be underrated for the whole year.
Yeah, because you have to see it to believe it with Buddy Hield because he's been burned so many times. Mm-hmm. And similar things with Andrew Wiggins. Like, no, I've talked about it in the past episodes. The biggest reason I was wrong about them is because I've been burned too many times by Andrew Wiggins and by Buddy Hield. So I just had no hope in them. And they're both been very good. So you could say either one of them are the most underrated player on the Warriors. And I kind of think they're both real and here to stay. And I think this team is going to be great all year.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them, man. I never saw or wanted to accept the Warriors being like a pretty good team in the Western Conference. That was none of us came into the season predicting that. We all also heard, specifically Isaac's heard like all the Warriors fans saying, "Oh my God, this is the deepest we've ever been. Depth, all this and that." And it's paying off and it's working. And through that depth, like there's been specific standout pieces, and the standout piece of that team is Buddy Hield. I think last week I said something similar to you about Buddy Hield specifically, and seeing him just like, yo, like, can this dude stay on the court through like consistently? Why is his defense not like looking so terrible right now? And like you said, it's like the team is just camouflaging into him and all his flaws, and they're molding their entire defense around him, which is
Steve Kerr's coach of the
year, by the way.
Yeah, he was unplayable in a playoff series 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like Steve Kerr is coach of the year. For years, I've been seeing Warriors fans be the most fucking entitled babies in the world around Steve Kerr. They hate him for the most superficial reasons. He has flaws, he does. But the strengths of this man and his coaching staff, because it's not just him, it's people around him. Shout out Jerry Stackhouse. Shout out Terry Stotts. The strength of this staff year in and year out with cycling associate head coaches that come in throughout the door, they have the best system in the NBA by far. Now, last year, they didn't quite have the pieces to fit that system super well. They had some off-the-court issues that made it get muddied up, and we forgot. But they are back. Steve Kerr is still Steve Kerr, and Buddy Hield is a perfect fit with a coach that knows how to use him just right.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Shout out to the Warriors, man. Next team
I know, it's so crazy.
that I have to talk about are the Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
Now, since it felt like the Denver Nuggets had a really shaky up and down season, and all of us had to come to terms with the Nuggets potentially not being like championship favorites, or maybe not even like the second, maybe third best team in the entire NBA. Since then, like they still haven't been like elite, but they've been pretty good. Whether it be through, MPJ and his inconsistent struggles or whatever, Russell Westbrook having random 20-point games here and there. There's two things I can say about this. I have two options when it comes to who's underrated on this team.
Okay.
I could say, like, Christian Braun, he's been playing fantastic.
Brown?
Yeah, Brown played fantastic, averaging 16 points per game, shooting like 38 or maybe 40% from the three-point line. He's made a genuine leap. But fuck that, man. Nikola Jokic is underrated.
Let's go!
God damn it. I don't give a damn. Go to hell if you think otherwise, bro. It's Nikola Jokic. I just saw a stat earlier today saying that Nikola Jokic is putting up numbers. Right now he's averaging more points than
that passes
Shaq, than Shaquille O'Neal has ever averaged in his entire career. Shaquille O'Neal's career high, that's what Nikola Jokic is at. Tim Duncan's career high in rebounding, that's what Nikola Jokic is at. Chris Paul's career high in assists, that's where Nikola Jokic is at. Across the board, he's surpassing all these all-time greats, and he's doing all-time great thing, having an all-time great season, and he's by far and away the best player in the NBA. I haven't seen this type of disparity since like LeBron, bro. Back in like 2013, 14, 15.
Listen,
that's how big the gap is.
No, I'll have a better take. I'll have a crazier take. This is a bigger gap than LeBron ever had. LeBron's a better player. Let me not make that clear. LeBron's a better player.
Yeah, it's about the landscape.
Always was. LeBron, second and third best players behind him were Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. Behind Jokic is Giannis and Luka. There's a bigger gap there. I don't care. Especially with how Luka's been playing this year. I know a lot of people want to crown him second best player in the world. I still think it's Giannis. But Jokic is in a different fucking stratosphere than Luka. Like, yeah. I feel so fine saying that. The way that they've been so good, you mentioned Christian Brown, Julian Strouth's playing better, Peyton Watson playing good. Shout out the young guys that are coming into their own. The biggest thing they did is they stopped playing Dario Saric and they started playing Nikola Jokic 40 minutes a night and saying, go be goddamn Superman. And he has answered that call and more. He's the most aggressive scoring we've ever seen from him. Still insanely 11 assists a game. The way he's in his late execution in the fourth quarters, it's amazing as it always has been, despite the bigger load and probably more stamina needed that would make you think maybe he could kind of, get gas in the fourth quarter. He hasn't. He's handled this just fine. Like I've seen some people say they need him to be a Superman for all year for them to be good with his roster. I think he can do it. I think if you're ever going to need somebody to be Superman for 82 games, it's Nikola Jokic. His ability to handle a whole entire load and take it and really output is insane. He can handle anything.
Wow. Okay.
Lord.
Where have we gone as a podcast society?
No load is too big. Like he can play 40 minutes in a playoff game. Like he can do that. He can play for Tibbs.
Tibbs would love might. He'd never leave the floor. He never leave.
Yeah, I know. It's not even like it's crazy just thinking about how big the gap is, bro. It didn't hit me until then, and then you just brought it like a motherfucker.
Really?
Like, damn. Yeah, there's a real gap. Yeah, it didn't hit me. There's a real serious gap.
And the serious gap, let's say Giannis is closer, I think. I think Giannis isn't that far away. But let's say the Luka comparison, because that's what everybody likes to do. I think more people at this rate think he's the second best player in the world.
Well, I think that more people are wrong. I think that Giannis is, I think Giannis is 2 right now.
Okay, even then, let's say it's Giannis. I love Giannis. I just tweeted last night that I think he's still number 2. And like I have no problem picking him over Luka right now. I had some hesitation last year in the playoffs when Luka was going crazy. I was like, okay, maybe you guys got me. Maybe he deserves to have this title because Giannis can't stay healthy. But Giannis is better. I don't care. And with that being said, somebody replied to my tweet and said the difference in defense between Giannis and Jokic is bigger than the difference in offense. And like, sure, if we're talking like 2K ratings, like maybe his cumulative 2K rating defensively now is like a 95, down from what it used to be like a 99, whereas Jokic is like an 80. Sure. But that, whatever you call it on offense, 10% difference between them is the most important difference you could possibly have in NBA history. To go from a really great scorer and really good offensive player in Giannis to potentially the best offensive player we've ever fucking seen side by side with LeBron James, that small difference means everything. To me, that means more than any defensive difference they have, especially with Giannis' defense slowing down a little bit since like 2019 age. The ability to be the perfect decision maker, the perfect efficient scorer, the perfect passer, amazing off ball, amazing screener, amazing offensive rebounder.
He's getting his shit off
amazing
right
pick and pop shooter. Like that little difference.
Just call him an amazing man.
To be a god in my eyes, that makes a bigger difference in the defense of Giannis. Like he is so clearly the best player in the world. It's not a conversation whatsoever to me.
Yeah.
All right.
You took the cake.
You got it. You got it.
Look at my team.
You are the number 1.
I love it, bro.
You are the number 1 glazer. I do like that.
And you know what? I'm honestly not glazing enough. I could get crazier.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, we're gonna keep this PG. I'm gonna go to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
There you go.
Real quick. We're gonna talk about Aaron Wiggins because I think that Aaron Wiggins has been fantastic. I think his versatility on defense. He's a really good defender. He's knocking down shots, and the Thunder, like, they have a whole bunch of just very, very versatile wings that they could put alongside Shea and J-Dub. And listen, Isaiah Joe, that's my guy. He's not playing well right now, and that is all I have to say on the matter. But
cannot confirm or deny.
But in the offseason, Isaiah Joe got the contract extension. Aaron Wiggins both got the contract extension for the low. Like, both of them could have got more money and other places. And we both said whenever they signed the deal, like that's crazy because these are instantly two of the best contracts in the league because of how good and how valuable these guys are. And now that the Thunder, now that Chet's gone and you are playing these lineups like very, very, like these 5-guard lineups, and you need depth and you need versatility. And Wiggins is out there doing exactly what he needs to do to hold down the forward. And Shea is doing his thing, right? We're seeing J-Dub get back into his rhythm. Lou Dort is Lou Dort. But those fringe pieces whether it be, Aaron Wiggins or Casey Wallace or Alex Caruso or Isaiah Joe, like that, like third wing, that 3rd/4th wing, that's where Aaron Wiggins lives. And he's been doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. I'll say this guy isn't underrated anymore. He's got plenty of hype. But defensively, I think J-Dub is underrated. Dude, the way he's been able to slide into that 5 role with Chet gone is so impressive. This stout motherfucker is defending 5s and 4s like it's nothing. We talk a lot about Dort and Caruso being this defensive duo and their crazy hands and like this defensive playmaking from the perimeter that makes them have this legendary defense so far. J-Dub is just as good as those guys. Like he is just as active of a defender as Caruso. Mm-hmm. His hands are ridiculous. That wingspan is insane. Like he knows how to use it just right. Like he can play up in position with that strength too. He is an elite defender, and I don't think he's really thought about that way.
No, not at all. You see J-Dub, and it's like it's score. Like that he's not like a cone or anything, but it's the offense is definitely like the first thing that you think of with him.
But his high end skills like are just insane.
Okay,
they're so good, man.
They're ridiculous. Thunder. Get well soon, Chet.
When's he supposed to come back in like 10 weeks or something like that?
Yeah, a long time. He's going to be reevaluated 8 to 10 weeks. It's going to be a long time.
Damn, it's going to be warm outside by the time he gets back.
Yeah, they're cooked.
Okay.
Tatum might be dead by then.
But Hartenstein's coming back soon, so it'll be fine.
That's great. All right, so my next team, the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
It's
kind of
Wemby. Hard. No, I'm not going to pick him. I'm not going to glaze like that back to back. Can't do that.
Just a little bit of glaze. Keep it healthy.
It's hard to think of a super underrated team.
Daily glaze.
I reach my caloric amount when it comes to glaze. But it's hard to think about an underrated player for this team again because sit here and you look at like Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes. Do your job, cool, go home. Wemby is the star player. There's no underrating about him whatsoever. Devin Vassell just came back, want to give him a little bit more time. Could look at guys like Keldon Johnson, I guess, and Malachi Branham, who've been like useful players. But I think I might go towards the guy who's not playing right now and just so happens to be hurt, and Jeremy Sohan. When I last saw him on the court, being the cutter that he is and making the most out of his limited offensive bag is what's important to me. And also more importantly, like, his defense is genuinely special, and that's what's keeping this team. That's what was keeping this team alive, and they're still chugging along throughout this NBA season. His ability to defend, he's our best perimeter defender, and by far and away, it's like not close. He is that guy. He has the footwork and also the strength to be able to like collect and impact whenever someone's trying to get to the rim. He just has the combination of everything. And I think it's fair to crown him as the most underrated player, even though he's probably like the second or third best player on that team so far. So, yeah.
And it's mostly because his PR is just like forever dead after the point guard experiment. He's the poster boy for Wembanyama's teammates suck. They're like, look at Many Star. Oh, Wemby versus Paolo Banchero? Paolo has Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, all these dudes. Who does Wemby have? Jeremy Sohan, the blonde dude?
That's your big homie? It's that? And then also he had beef with LeBron, so now people just fucking hate that guy to the core.
And that's the PR he has, is like, that's all he got. But he's good. He's a very good defender. He's gotten just labeled as a bad prospect because of this dumb PR Wemby bullshit. But he's very good. He can pass a little bit, as we saw. That's why they tried the point guard shit, which didn't work. But as a secondary passing power forward, that's a nice role for him.
Yeah. I 110% agree.
Okay.
I 110% agree. He's a toolbox, bro. He has everything in his bag except for shooting.
Hell yeah. Okay, what's your next team, Donovan?
Who are we gonna talk about?
Where did you guys
Crazy. Let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, and let's talk about Scottie Pippen Jr.
Okay, that's a good pick.
And let's talk about somebody who, in the illustrious words of Geno Smith, was written off, but he never wrote back. the Lakers got rid of him. He goes to Memphis, and he's been playing really, really well. And it's for a team that you already know, hey, we're just gonna pencil in our star guard being out of the lineup for minimum 20 games. Having Scottie Pippen come in and be able to fill in that role is awesome. And he's averaging like 12 and 5 right now. He's shooting the ball really, really well. And I just think that like we're just not talking about the Memphis Grizzlies like that on a nightly basis. And we're for sure not talking about, Scottie Pippen Jr., who, listen, he had a triple-double the other day. Like he's out here doing stuff. And so when you think about having Scottie Pippen Jr. and like Gigi Jackson coming back and all like the rest of the young talent, like that's going to be the version of the Grizzlies that we were like, oh, this team could be at the top of the conference because they have a lot of depth in a lot of these places. So shout out to Scottie Pippen Jr.
Shout out to Scottie Pippen Jr., man. Like it's such a good story that this summer, Taylor Jenkins told him, you can compete for this backup point guard spot. Mm-hmm. If you want it bad enough, it can be yours. He came in, he just earned that shit. Like he's been playing so well all that time in the G League, all the development time. When Darvin Ham didn't want to give him a shot, as he told everybody, or Darvin Ham didn't believe he could defend because he's too small and all this shit. He put that chip on his shoulder and developed. He's so well-rounded too from that position. Like he's a really good playmaker for a backup point guard. I think he can defend just fine. I don't think he's a terrible defender. He can score. He can put the ball in the bucket, keep the ball moving. He's fast. Like just a really ideal backup point guard. Yeah, and when we saw the Grizzlies at their best a couple of years ago, part of the reason was because you had Ja, but you also had Tyus Jones, and you also had a backup point guard who can keep the ship steady. And so whenever Ja was out, that team is still 500. That team is still winning games because you have a competent point guard. Right now, he's averaging 12 points per game. He's averaging 6 assists. He's shooting 50% from the field. He's shooting 44% from three. He's doing a lot for this team. And so once again, like the depth for Memphis, they just keep finding these guys and they just keep adding them to their rotation. So once we get to December and once we get to January, do not be shocked if you see the Grizzlies start making their run then whenever they get all their guys back and they have, a really, really good bench. Yeah. Shout out Santi Aldama.
Santi Aldama is great, bro. I would have picked him.
You should have picked Santi Aldama. Look at that.
I should have had them. If it's Grizzlies.
I voted.
I was thinking about it, but I like Scotty.
I like that.
My next pick, let's see. The Wizards. I'm getting all the picks that have the most obvious pick in the world. First it was Dyson, then it was Tari. And now for the Wizards is none other than Bilal Coulibaly.
Kula.
That's racist.
That was crazy.
How?
That's racist.
I mean, you can't really be racist to the French, but you'll find a way. Yeah, man. He's really fucking good. He's just outright fantastic. And
racist. Audio listeners, tap in, see what I look like.
Is Mo racist to the French?
So
okay.
that's the little homie. We good.
Savannah, come on now.
So he's an interesting player because he was drafted. He's like the most raw draft prospect possible. The year he got drafted, he's coming off a season where he played on Wemby's team, Metro 92, and he started the year playing for their B team. And then towards the end of the season, before their version of the playoffs, he got elevated and had like 6 really interesting games playing next to Wemby. Like that's it. That was his scouting profile. Was half a season with the B team in France and a handful of games with Wemby. And he was drafted top 10 off of his like raw athleticism and tools and hope that we can develop him. And my God, he has developed so insanely well. This guy is obviously a very good defender. He's long as hell. The positional size is ridiculous. The wingspan, I don't remember what it is, but it's gigantic. And he has the burst. He's a very good defender. That was the reason he was drafted. You build off of that skill set and go from there. Now he's just like one of the most unstoppable rim finishers in the league. I don't know what the stats are after this Wizards game. I haven't checked. I'll pull it up right now. Before this game, he was shooting 91% from the rim for the year.
Oh my God.
He was like 23 of 25 at the rim. Like, that's not the biggest sample size, but it's not nothing. Like, through 10 games, he was shooting 90% at the rim. He just can't be stopped. And he's shooting well. He needs to be... We had to slide him up the, like, hierarchy of young players. Because at this rate, when you think about how good he is, based on how much development time he's had, his age, and his tools, he has one of the higher ceilings of any young guard in the league.
Easily. And the only reason why I was never...
Oh, my bad. Real quick. The rim field goal percentage dropped. It's not 91 anymore. It's 90.
Damn, bro.
Bum!
Fucked up my whole vibe, bro. God damn.
The only reason why I never believed in Bilal was just because he played on the Wizards. And they have such a bad track record of actually developing guys. But it looks like, hey, we might actually be in a good situation now. They might actually be, turning the corner. And I'm with you. Like, how high do we want to go with Bilal? And
I think he's all-star potential.
Because I'm
Definitely.
buying stock. And if you know us, we've bought stock. And right now we're insanely up. We're very much breaded from all the stock we bought in players.
Yeah.
Buy stock in whatever we tell you to if you also want to be breaded.
Oh, no, here's the thing. So listen to us when we're buying stock in young players. I'm exceptional at that, I think. I can identify a young player. Do not buy stock in us when we tell you preseason predictions for teams. That we are horrendous at. So listen to us on some things, not the others. Young stars, we got it.
We know who the dogs are in the league. We got that.
Yep. Record predictions, not so much. But young players, this is our bag.
We got that.
I agree, man. I agree.
Also, shout out Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole's playing really well. He got fucking overshadowed by Wemby, but he had 42 points yesterday. And that was a good shooting night. Good for him. I don't really care about that. I've been impressed by his passing. He looks like an actual point guard that's playing within a structure and like keeping the ball moving and like setting other people up. And I think last year was such a disaster year. The coaching was terrible. Everything was just nonsense. And he's clearly a player that needs to be within a good structure. He lives and dies by the coach that coaches him, I think.
I 110% agree. I'm happy you mentioned Jordan Poole because I wouldn't, if I had the Wizards, I wouldn't have made him the most underrated player out of this group. But I would also show him so much like admiration for how much he's grown and the patience and all that he's had in this new system. I feel like this season for Wizards fans has to be one of the most enjoyable seasons in years since like the John Wall era, probably, because since then it's been nothing but bleakness and just like not serious basketball or serious anything over there basketball wise in Washington, bro. So yeah.
Them boys are 2-8.
I'm very excited for the Wizards' future.
The rookies are great. They're great too, bro. Bub, one of the better rookies.
Keyshawn George, Sar sucks ass as a scorer, but I like the way he moves. He can defend. I like seeing him run the ball in transition. So he has some good feel. Hopefully he doesn't always suck ass as a scorer, but I like the other stuff around that.
Yeah, exactly, bro. This is easily one of the most enjoyable seasons in years for these guys, and I love to see it. All right.
How many teams we got left?
I got 2 teams left.
I have 3 teams left.
All right, you go. Double up.
Okay. No, actually, the rest of mine are real. I'm going to speed through all my teams right now.
Talk about it.
Yeah, but let's all speed through our last team so we can keep moving. The Nets, I have Dennis Schroeder. Like, how could I not pick Dennis Schroeder? Dennis Schroeder has been an absolute bucket. He's making the Nets win too many games. I've always loved this guy. When the Lakers had him, I was so mad to let him walk because through that whole thing, I was like, he's the point guard you need to keep. He is the solid defender, can create penetration, can hit a catch and shoot 3. He was the ideal point guard that I think they should have kept over D'Angelo Russell. He has gone to the Nets and been fantastic. He's shooting 50% on non-corner threes.
Dude.
And that matches the eye test so well. He's 30 for 60. He shot 60 non-corner threes in 11 games, and he's hit 30 of them. That's not a small sample size. That's a lot of fucking threes.
He looks so good alongside Austin Reeves and LeBron right now.
Don't even tell me those words.
So
but like,
good.
it matches the eye test. That's where every time I watch them, I'm like, how many threes does Dennis Schroeder hit? And it's always a higher number than I expect.
Okay.
The dog outside barking. He fucks Dennis Schroeder too.
Shout out to the dog.
And last 2 teams I have, the Boston Celtics. One of those teams. Who the fuck is underrated on the Celtics? I don't know.
Payne Pritchard.
I put Neemias Queta because he's been real big, real effective down low. Been kind of cool. I guess you could put like Sam Hauser or something if you want.
Nah.
Honestly, that's probably still Drew Holiday, but we were so fast calling him underrated.
Ew. God,
like
those
that.
are 2017, 2018 conversations that we're still having. But
Yeah.
okay. All right.
And my last team, to fire off the rest of my list, Charlotte Hornets. Got Grant Williams.
He has been playing well. I like that. It's not bad.
Another player
Their
whose PR
defense
is in the toilet.
6 points better with him on the court, and their offense is a hilarious 20 points better with him on the courts. He gives them such needed stability at the power forward position, and it's mostly because Miles Bridges fucking sucks. He's terrible, and he's been tanking their offense with terrible inefficiency. So you put in this guy who's just going to be normal and be baseline. It's making him so much better. They've
like,
done some interesting stuff with
wow.
him at center. Some lineups, and there's been some flashes. There's an early season game where they played the Rockets and came back against them because he was defending Sengun really well. Now, those lineups have terrible defensive ratings, but that's because the people around him are really bad. Oh, my bad. Got that backwards. The ones at center are good defensive ratings. When he's at power forward, they have a terrible defensive rating. And that's because he's playing next to some really bad centers. But once that comes around and they get Mark Williams back, I think it will be a really good piece that they're probably going to close games with.
Okay.
Okay.
When we get Mark Williams back, that seems like a sentence that's like routinely said in Charlotte. I hope you're not lying to these fans again.
And he's never back, perpetually not there.
Okay, I have 2 more teams left. One of them, the Sacramento Kings. I have absolutely no idea who's underrated on that team. If I'm being neutral, I might just say, I don't know, Keegan Murray, because I feel like people consistently don't understand how important he is to their infrastructure offensively and defensively. So I might say that. You have a name? Go ahead.
It's DeMar DeRozan.
I literally wrote him down on my phone because I'm just like, DeMar is just like, he just continues to surpass expectations.
We weren't like super high on the move, but we didn't hate it. We were like, yeah, they'll be better for the regular season. It'll make them good. It's not gonna win a championship with it, but like it makes sense. Some people, I think it was Lowe who was big on Twitter about this, who went viral. He was saying they should bench DeMar DeRozan. That like he won't make them better at all. They need to bench him before the season started. That was like a non-small segment of people that thought that. And that was crazy to me. DeMar is a very good basketball player.
Yeah, benching is crazy. I definitely didn't think DeMar would make them better.
I picked them to be the 8 seed, so I thought they'd be like about the same, and I thought like their offense would be better, which I think that's about what it is. Like he's been their best player so far, and he's been good, but not to the point where they're going to be like contender. But he's been very, very good for them.
Yeah, I mean it's what you'd expect. A best case scenario, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, and also De'Aaron Fox led team being, and it's happening right now.
Yeah. They're just the Kings, but he's been good.
Yeah. Last team in Sacramento are the Philadelphia 76ers. Everyone is out. Everyone is injured. And so far, they have the best rookie in the NBA in Jared McCain. Just, I think last night,
Friend
he
of
put up
the
like
program.
34 and 10, bro. He's absolutely feasting and eating. He's looking like by far and away the steal of the draft. And he's been the best rookie in the NBA so far because the opportunities have been finally handed to him. And even when Tyrese Maxey comes back, you cannot just diminish this 20-year-old's minutes, bro. He's doing surprising things that need to remain on the court on a consistent basis. I don't know what Nick Nurse has to do, but he has to consistently touch like 25 minutes per game, bare minimum, even when Tyrese comes back. He's ready.
He's like so simple, but so effective. He shoots the ball well, he moves well off ball, and he passes well. Precisely what you need playing next to Joel Embiid and Paul George.
Yeah, exactly. There's no like special pizzazz or like insane bag to his game at all. It's just like, it's
real simple and it's real effective. It's perfect role player.
That's what he was saying the other day in his press conference, because somebody asked him like how he was trying to be effective playing next to Joel Embiid, and he was like, yeah, the exact same thing that you say. It's like, it's real simple. You just pass, you just, provide spacing, move around so that you don't like clog up anything. And somebody had quoted him was like, wow, he figured out in 10 games how to play with Joel Embiid what like nobody could do in like 5 years. And like his ability also to just, I'm gonna just simplify right now. He's a dog. He goes into he has like the confidence that he plays with is so apparent. And there's so many spots that he gets to that are just like him making the decision. I'm going to get to this spot. I'm going to rise up. I'm going to take the shot. Like there's been a lot of moments in these like late game situations where for a lot of 20-year-old rookies, and granted, not every rookie has these opportunities, but for him to be taking some of the shots that he is taking in the situations that he's taking them, like, fourth quarter, clutch games, all that, and he's not scared at all, like that's awesome to see.
Yeah. Shout out Jared McCain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you get him back on the show again.
Facts. Yo, if anybody's listening right now, go ahead and DM Jared McCain. TD3 wants you back. Let it fizzle out.
All right.
Okay, what are your teams left, Donovan?
Last 2 teams. The Orlando Magic. We just, until the season is over, we just need to give Jalen Suggs all the flowers we can. He's just fantastic. And I know that nobody's there, And now might be the time where we're like, oh yeah, like, he's stepping up, he's doing well. He's still a defensive demon. He still gets, makes every player that he plays, their night is just over. The moment Jalen Suggs decides that it's going to be over, his shooting is fantastic. He's taking leaps. Like, he is a legitimate building block for the Magic and their foundation. And he's a part of the reason why they've actually been able to, stay somewhat solid without Paolo. And he's just been awesome. So yeah, so Jalen Suggs is still one of the most underrated players in the entire league.
Yep. Shout out him. Shout out Franz Wagner, who's been playing really well since Paolo went out.
And then
I love Jalen Suggs so much.
He's
I'm
awesome.
telling you, if I could have any role player in the league on my team on the Lakers, it would be Jalen Suggs. He's precisely what my team needs.
He's like that. And my last team, the New York Knicks. I said last year, I told this to Mo, that OG Anunoby is the most important African man in my life. And
you still don't stand by that. You need me.
I'm telling you right now, OG right now is saving my life. He is amazing.
All right.
And
He's done miracles on you?
bro, the defense that he has provided
He's
this
done
year
miracles on me.
has been awesome.
Look at this.
His shooting has been great, and especially because coming into the season, you thought that the Knicks were going to have like two elite wing defenders. They have one elite wing defender, and that's OG Anunoby. Mikal Bridges has not been that. And a lot of times, OG is picking up for not only Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, but also Mikal Bridges. And he is carrying the defense right now, whatever exists of it. But OG has been awesome, and it's been like that this year, and it's even been like that last year whenever they had him. He's consistently at the top of the league in plus minus and on-off stats because he is that impactful to what the Knicks do.
Yeah, I think first team all defense right now is like Dyson Daniels, Draymond, Wiggins, Mobley, OG Anunoby.
Yes.
Draymond and Wiggins. Okay.
But take off Wiggins, put on Wemby.
Yeah.
Wiggins second team. But what the point is, OG needs to be on there. OG is a crazy carry job right now.
Yes.
I agree.
And
is that all of our teams?
Yeah, that's all my teams. I think that's actually 30.
Wow, nobody forgot one? I bet Mo did, but we're just going to ride with it. And yeah, man.
Y'all guess who I forgot.
What time is it, Mo?
Woo! Crowd eaters rejoice! It is time to march together and defeat this TikTok time. Hoo!
That was a crazy series of noises. Nevertheless, let's go on to TikTok time.
Let's roll.
Well, I smell like ass right now. I need some deodorant.
Keep that in.
Keep it in. Dude, I reek right now. Holy shit. Fucking musty.
Welcome to TikTok time. This has been a long-awaited section of the podcast for many weeks now. Since mid-September, actually, whenever the NBA City jerseys for this year leaked. And as soon as they leaked, everybody came to us and was like, are you guys going to react to them? I need to see you grade them, yada, yada, yada. You got blah, blah, blah. Because every year we do it, right? I wanted to give you guys what you wanted for the past month and a half. But when they leaked with no numbers in the front. So it was like half a jersey. And we figured we might as well wait until they actually release.
Yeah.
Luckily, this morning, they actually dropped all of them at once. So we are finally here to rate the 2024-2025 NBA City jerseys.
Here we go.
Exactly. Listen, don't think we're not giving you some ratings off the back of the truck. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're gonna actually wait till we get the full jerseys. And I've been waiting. I've been thinking all day about these jerseys. Let's get into it.
I still have no idea what some of these look like, so this is a raw reaction, bro.
And this year, instead of rating them 1 through 10, we're going to grade them. Gonna mix it up a little bit. So we're going to grade them a letter grade.
Okay, let's do it. Adam Silverman, you are welcome.
So we're not doing all 30 right now because that's a lot of jerseys. We're going to do the Western Conference this week and Eastern Conference next week, split up into 2 episodes. But yeah, right now, we are going to rate the 2024-20... Not rate, actually, I said it wrong. We are going to grade the 2024-2025 NBA City jerseys.
Let's do it.
Let's jump straight into it. First off, we got the Los Angeles Lakers.
Boo!
Lake Show.
Boo, gradient. Shut up.
No, not only is the gradient bad, the Lake Show, this is a Temu jersey.
Yeah.
I hate this. I'm
I'm not going to lie.
How
As a
dare
Lakers fan,
Stop it.
I hate
you
one, I hate gradient.
Yes.
I could get past the gradient. But Lake Show is just as corny as when Heat did Heat Culture. You don't need to put that on the jersey. This isn't a Target jersey you get at a random city in California. This isn't some knockoff bullshit. We don't need to play into it so much that we put the slogan on the jersey. I hate this.
How dare you besmirch the name of one of the most iconic franchises in NBA history with Lake Show, with this kind of jersey. Yeah. I'm giving it an F. I don't like this.
It might look decent on court. The colors are striking and bright, yada, yada, but I hate it nonetheless.
Now, I will say, Lake Show sounds great, but for a basketball team, doesn't sound great. The branding of it, like if I was like a boat owner, or I was like renting out like yachts and stuff like that, Lake Show, I need this brand, this advertising, attach it to that company right there. This is fantastic.
No, Lake Show's a good. I like the Lake Show. That's what the Lakers are. You just don't got to put it on the jersey. It's just corny.
Yeah,
very.
It's like what if the Warriors had a jersey that says strength in numbers? Like you just don't need to do that.
It's embarrassing, Connor.
No.
It's like, all right, bro, we get it. Y'all are the it team in the NBA. Leave us alone.
Never go full Heat culture. Ugh.
I think I will give this a B.
Now, with that being said,
I like purple.
You're out of your mind. Well, with that being said, this is the worst one. They got this year. They're actually kind of decent. So this is the worst one on the whole list.
Nah, you're tripping.
All right, let's
You're
go.
crazy.
For the Western Conference, this is the worst one. I'm telling you.
Let's go.
Actually, never mind. I take that back.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
Close. Second one. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Ooh, the aura is bleeding from this photo right here, bro. Oh my god. This is hard.
I agree.
Wipe your mouth.
This is
I agree.
hard.
This is hard. I'm all in.
This is tough.
I don't think I liked this one last year when it was in blue, but the ice, it looks very icy. And it's doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
I'm giving this an A.
To make you feel some type of way. The Dillingham aura plus the jersey aura.
So the ice is icing. I'm giving it an A.
Yeah. Real DS2 vibes for the second year in a row. I liked it last year. I still like it. I'll give it an A.
You said real what?
Shout out
Real what
Minnesota.
vibes?
DS2.
Dirty Sprite 2?
Of
Yep.
course.
I
Not
just had to spread the word for the knowers out there.
for the non-knowers.
Yeah, for the non-knowers out there.
But no, it's a great motif. I like when teams have a good jersey and they give you a slight variation of it. Sometimes it goes poorly, but this time it works.
This is hard across all fonts, bro. I love it. This is an A.
And Anthony Edwards wears it, so yeah, extra points.
Hey, I mean, anything he wears is fire, so it's not really a bar to. Not really a bar to.
You want to be like Ant?
Relax. That's crazy.
Next up, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder.
What superhero's wearing this? We're gonna save the day. Ugly ass, get away from me,
This kind of
brother.
looks like a costume from the boys.
Oh,
This
gosh.
does look like a PBS superhero jersey.
Yeah.
I'm not with it.
I don't hate it. I mean, the black is cool. I like the yellow with the black. I don't love the whole design on the side panels, but it doesn't kill it for me. I'll give it like a C+.
It's not bad.
I want to like it. It
But-
feels like this should be a soccer jersey and not a basketball jersey.
You know what works? The branding, the loves, works with it. It doesn't take away like it can sometimes. That gives it some points and keeps it afloat for me.
That's true. But that yellow and red combined with the navy blue and whatever blue that is, it's just too much. It's too much inconsistencies with this jersey.
It's doing a lot, but the core of it's good enough. It's not terrible.
I go B+.
Okay, generous.
I guess.
All right, next up, we got the Houston Rockets, H-Town in gigantic ass letters.
Damn. Barnhouse vibes. What the hell? We get it, bro. Shit. H-Town. Damn.
This is like almost really cool, but it's so big.
Oh my gosh. I see the vision. I see what they wanted to do. And it's a good idea. Bad execution.
Yeah. Like the design elements work. The colors look good. The text is kind of cool. But I don't know. I don't like when things are too on the nose. Just like H-Town. Like it's so corny, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not with this. I'm not with this. I'll give this about a C minus.
I might give this a D, to be honest. It could have been, I think if the jersey replaced the white with the red and have H-Town be white, it wouldn't be so loud in our faces. So
Yeah, I go D. I really just don't like it. It's
Also,
too
what is
big.
this? What is this picture? Because if Fred VanVleet was like looking up and was like, like mewing at the camera, this could be an Instagram ad for
oh
party,
my
for a club.
gosh. If he was mewing at the camera,
That's what
Could have been one of these.
That's what this picture is.
ew.
It's definitely deep fried. Why is everything so saturated?
Listen. Something's going
Not
down
the
at
strongest
camp.
one. This is a D.
Something's going down at camp. I know it. Fred B.
Next up, we're at the Portland Trailblazers.
This is great.
No, they got this pasty white boys looking auraless.
No,
It looks
it's cool.
bad.
It's great. What you mean? How's it bad?
I don't know. They got these little halftone dots in the background. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
cool.
It's real
The
simple.
picture looks bad. The jersey's cool. The jersey's not bad. Now my boy clean though.
What? He's flexing on him. What you mean? Don't come in the paint. Are you telling me, Dom, you would try a layup attempt on this guy right here with this jersey on?
I dunk on him reverse.
Cling Kong. I ain't gonna
No,
lie.
honestly-
He's disrespecting you.
This is a very safe jersey. It's not a lot going on. Simple, cool, fine. B.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's solid. It's a B.
I agree. I agree.
They
The
didn't fuck it up,
Blazers,
and that's all you could ask for with city jerseys when so many teams do something so disastrous.
yeah, the Blazers do have a very high floor, especially with the colors. Like, listen, black, white, and
Yeah.
red. That's hard to mess up.
Yeah, you have a cool little pattern on it. I'm sure it means something for their city. They always have nice little themes for their jerseys, like before they did the airport floor and stuff like that. So, Portlandians, whatever it is, I'm sure it's cool to you.
Shout out to Portland. Thriving economy.
Shout out to Portland. Next up, we got the Memphis Grizzlies.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
This is an all-time city jersey. This is a classic. Immediately before I've seen it a single time on the court, this is an A+.
I need to see Duke Deuce in this jersey
Who?
in a music video.
Who?
You don't know Duke Deuce?
Oh, I thought you said Duke Dennis. I'm like, what are you talking about right now?
You fucking
I was
crown
about to
eater.
say,
Stop that.
God, man.
Exactly.
That's my
Exactly.
Wi-Fi, bro.
But this is so hard. The font is just so good. I could wear this on a t-shirt.
Understand. Crunk ain't dead. Crunk ain't dead.
Yeah.
And this Memphis jersey is keeping it alive. I love this.
Man, I would hit, bro.
Memphis jersey.
I would hit a mean cat daddy with this jersey on, bro. Just cat daddy, cat daddy, cat daddy, cat daddy, cat daddy, cat daddy. Like, dude, oh my gosh, getting crunk on a Tuesday with this jersey on? Sign me up, brother.
No, this is great. Memphis always has good jerseys. They're reliably great.
Yeah,
This
nah.
is A+. A+
A.
for me.
We're starting off strong. This is a lot better than most years so far.
Okay.
Okay, next team. We got the Clippers.
Okay.
Once again, you have failed. I thought
Nah.
I liked this in the rebrand. I thought I liked it in the rebrand whenever they showed us all the jerseys. I don't like it right now.
What?
I don't dislike
This
it.
is
It's a cool color. I like the bright blue.
Yeah.
The whole Clips thing kind of grew on me. It does still kind of look like a barbershop, but I like it. It's clean.
I agree. It's solid. It's not special.
This is a barbershop jersey.
Yeah, it still is.
And you know what?
2 years in a row, but it's a cool barbershop.
Exactly. I would get my hair cut over here at this barbershop.
Yeah, it's a barbershop you want to take the family to. Barbershop with aura.
No stupid NBA ball talk. Just straight cuts, bro.
Yeah, the barbershop good takes, which actually might mean it's a terrible barber. It's kind of a bad thing.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
This the barbershop from the movie.
I need my barbers with the stupidest NBA takes imaginable. I need them to show me dumbass Instagram reels.
No, you ain't lying. Shout out to my barber from Atlanta, man. I miss him.
He said, "Shut up, my barber. He was dumb."
Nah, no disrespect. No disrespect.
That's my
We don't
mans.
disrespect barbers around here.
My God.
How could you? All right, next up. Ooh, the Phoenix Suns.
This is terrible.
I like the jersey. Why is the word, literally the word the why is it so high on the neck?
Yeah. It's terrible.
Doesn't bother me. It's raining A pluses for me. This is another one. This is incredible. This is top 3 for me for the whole year.
This would be hard as a shirt, but not as a jersey.
You're insane. It's even harder as a
It's
jersey.
lit-
This is some 90s vibes, getting the pop art, adding some character into it. I love the star behind the number. I love how things are not super, things are like asymmetrically placed. You have the numbers to the side. This has character.
Again, it's just that one word. It looks like he's choking Kevin.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like that for him. I would like for him to be able to breathe. I know.
Yes.
I know that that's impossible, but that's what it looks like right now.
Maybe he just doesn't
for
look-
that.
Yeah.
A minus
Yeah. I agree.
could be A plus.
Okay, I'll take an
but-
A minus for a small technicality.
Yes.
Maybe it just
Could be
doesn't
A+.
look
Nevertheless, it
great
better be
on
an A.
KD.
You're
because
choking
he doesn't
him.
have like a broad shoulders or whatever. Put this shit on like Bradley Beal or something like that. Maybe I might change my mind.
You just think Bradley Beal is hotter than Kevin Durant?
Oop. I'm just kidding. No.
Okay, next one.
So,
The Dallas Mavericks.
This is normal. We see
Bro,
this
why are
before.
these all so tough? This is another A. I'm not gonna lie.
This is hard.
I like this a lot.
The silver and the white always goes together. I'm sorry. This is an A.
You can't go wrong.
I don't make the rules.
nah, you got it.
Mavs fans love the black version last year. It's an instant classic for them, and now we get them the opposite, the white hot rendition. It's perfect.
Hard.
I told you guys. You guys know how I feel about the city of Dallas. I'm not rocking with it. C+.
What?
Because you hate Dallas?
Oh yeah, you know where I'm from.
Okay, well.
I can't respect Dallas a lot. I can't do it.
All right, well now that
You
you're
talk
doing
like you banging. So you know where I'm from. I can't respect it.
That is not me. But I was grown up to raise it. But that is not me. I do not associate with that.
it. This is an
But
A+ jersey. Fuck off.
But I was raised to hate Dallas,
Okay.
so I'm giving this a C+.
We got the New Orleans Pelicans.
This is hard. This is hard. I like
It's
this.
not bad.
It's fine. It's a little goofy, but it's not terrible.
I think this is
If
one of those jerseys
if
gonna
they
have to
only
grow
wore
on you.
this, yeah, if they only wore this on Halloween, I think I would like that. But for every other day of the year, I'm not too much of a fan of it.
Yeah. I mean, I see what they're going for. I like it more than last year's, I think. But just having bones on a jersey, like, it's cute, I guess, but it's not my style.
It's like cute.
You don't understand New Orleans culture. That's what it is.
You act like
Maybe
you're
if I was
from New Orleans.
I love this shit. I'm
What do you
not.
mean?
I'm
We're
giving this a
south,
C.
close enough. They over there down the street.
Who's
I'm sure
that?
this goes real good with a pot of gumbo. Not something I'm partaking in. I'll give it a C.
Nah, I don't rock with gumbo. You can keep that. I'll give this a C. Maybe not. I'll give this a B. Actually, it's really good.
Wait, did you disrespect Gumbo?
You like gumbo?
It's elite. What are we talking about?
Let's trade him, Isaac. Let's trade this guy. I will
are you
trade
talking-
Donovan.
I don't have an opinion on
I
gumbo.
will
don't
trade Donovan for new
You know how
Wi-Fi.
long I've been waiting for this opportunity?
Oh my god! I will trade
about to
Donovan
make a
for
name
new
for myself
Wi-Fi
here.
and a new. Oh my god!
You just want to get that off.
So bad. I was trying to extend this New Orleans segment so long.
Oh, I'm about to make it.
I love that line so much. When I play NCAA with LSU, every time I score a touchdown, oh, I'm about to make a name for myself here. Every time. Every time.
All right, man. That's a C. We got the Sacramento Kings.
It's cool. It's real.
It's not bad.
Elongated,
bad.
basic.
It's fine.
It's solid.
It's
not bad.
That is a long
It-
one.
yeah.
It looks like a Kansas jersey. The text is very tall. It's all right, I guess. I think it's a throwback to the Royals. Cool. Shout out to Sacramento Heritage.
Solid
Shout out
C.
Cincinnati. Solid C.
Can't hit on it.
It's fine.
We haven't seen terrible ones yet.
Besides the Lakers.
We saw the Lakers.
Come on, man.
But I think most people are going to think it's cool. I think we're going to be the minority hating on it.
You too. Not me.
I'll be
I
that.
don't care. I don't care.
I'll be that every day of the fucking week with these jerseys.
Thanks.
We got the Denver Nuggets.
This might be the worst one I've ever seen in my life. This jersey
See, no,
sucks.
this is almost great. If you took away the stupid ass second year in a row of 5280 and doing double numbers, if that just said like DEN, this would be so tough. The topographic colors is awesome.
I love the colors on the side. I love the weatherman type shit or whatever that is.
But 5280 is irredeemably ass. It can never work in any circumstance. You get an automatic F for putting double numbers no matter what it looks like around that.
Thank you. We have rules. We are a society, right? We have laws. You can't put double numbers on a jersey and think I'm gonna like it. That's not how we operate.
Exactly.
F.
And I'm like disrespected. You saw me hate it last year and you gave it to me again.
What is wrong with you?
Exactly.
Someone find us
Who
their
do you think
designer,
you
bro.
are?
I gotta find their LinkedIn. Give him some words.
And to think that Jokic's next MVP is going to be worn in these jerseys. Ugh.
That's a damn shame.
Oh my god.
I don't wish no more success.
This is going to be
for the
history.
organization.
Fourth MVP. Ugh.
Double
I hate
numbers.
This is the F.
This is Adam Silver's NBA.
an F. It's not a mean F, but it's an F.
No, it's a mean F. It's a mean F.
Wow.
This is the meanest F I've ever had in my life.
Really?
It's double
never had a
numbers,
meaner F.
man.
That's potential though. They improved the sides of the jersey.
They're not changing those double numbers. They fucking love it.
Come on, man. Next one.
Next one. The Utah Jazz.
Ooh,
Flying
that's clean.
colors, eh? Flying colors.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong going back to the mountains and the perfect color scheme. This is an A.
This is the
Man,
most.
if they didn't have
Mhm.
Nasty Man and Dumb Man as their 2 franchise GOATs, I would wear throwback jerseys all the time for the Utah Jazz.
Facts. Hey, just think about Andre Kirilenko.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to have to get a Darren Williams jersey. I'm going to have to get a
There you go.
Kirilenko.
Now we can rock with Utah's branding.
That's all
When
right.
I pop out with the Carlos Boozer jersey, don't say anything.
Ooh. I might need to tune with you
We're
that
going
day.
A tier.
I might need
Get the
one of them.
baldy to match, shine it.
All right.
This is A.
Paint on the beard. Next team, the Golden State Warriors.
This looks like OKC's. Someone was swagger jacking.
I usually love
they did
the
it
Warriors
wrong,
jerseys.
too.
Like every year, they're really good. I do not love this one. This looks like a cereal brand. No, this looks like a chicken place.
Ew.
It does.
This looks like someone
It
you've
does.
been to. The way you're
Yeah, this looks like what's it called? This looks like Church's Chicken.
Golden
Who the
State.
fuck wants a Church's Chicken jersey?
They've been failing for the last couple of years on their city jerseys. I don't like this. I don't.
So
like
has
this at all.
Church's Chicken, bro. Have you seen their statistic when it comes to sales? Church's Chicken, they
I
don't
haven't.
appear.
Fall
no-
off is crazy.
Yeah, they don't appear these days anymore for real.
They
No,
still
Popeye
selling
snatched their chain.
they still selling the honey biscuits.
I think they are. I think they added like strawberry biscuits too.
That's all I need them for. That's all I don't need them for the chicken. I just need the
Real
honey biscuits from Church's
eater.
Chicken.
But honestly, I don't like anything about this. I don't like that chunky ass text. I don't like the format around the 30. I don't like the colors. It's a miss for me.
It's an F for sure. Looks like
I go
OKC's.
D.
F.
Yeah, I go D. It's not. F is for the disrespectful ones, like double numbers. This is a D for just kind of being mid.
D for dumb for me.
And last but not least, we got the San Antonio Spurs.
I like that.
Hard.
I like that.
I loved it last year when the jersey was white. Now they came back and just like, it looks like they just washed it with some jeans by accident and gave us a slightly blue version. That's just a worse version of last year's.
Guess
See,
what?
I guess.
Some mistakes are actually innovative, and that if they accidentally washed it with jeans and changed the color, I'm not mad at it because they gave us this. I like this a lot.
I think it's fine. I like the better last year,
drop
though.
shadow. I like the colors on it. It's an A for me, straight A.
I fuck with it.
Ooh.
I fuck with it.
I just had to
what's
get
your
my
grade?
Wemby jersey in this, so that's right.
Okay. Well,
Give this an A.
overall, that was very positive for the Western Conference. They have way more good than bad. We'll see next week if the Eastern Conference can keep up this rate.
Man, let me find out though. East is just terrible at basketball overall, and also terrible when it comes to designing jerseys. Nothing good coming out of that conference, bro, except for Dyson Daniels.
Except for Tyson Daniels.
Yeah, it's the only positive thing.
You
God damn
fucking
it.
Next thing we're going to do, we're going to do our draft for the week. This is going to be a draft where we can only draft players that were drafted in the 2019 NBA draft class. So, the 2019 NBA draft.
Okay, let's
So,
go.
you guys know how it works? Only stipulation, they had to be drafted. No undrafted players, strictly somebody taken in the first 60 picks of the 2019 draft. The draft order is me, Donovan, Mo.
Damn it.
Damn it.
I always get picked.
And this easiest number one pick of all time, give me John Moran at point guard.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm done believing in Zion.
But you know what? You and me both. Give me Darius Garland at my point guard.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
That's
You
crazy.
just jacked this up for me. Wow. You picked Darius Garland over Zion. Okay.
I can't live like this. He's already taken my fantasy team. I can't do it.
Okay. Okay.
Damn, Mo gets Zion at the third pick. Interesting.
You thought. I'm just kidding. Yeah, give me Zion Williamson.
Okay, you have to. You have to.
Yeah, at this point, I have to.
You can't give Donovan, Zion, and Garland.
Yeah, so I need to have Zion Williamson at my 4. Defense of this class is disastrous also. I'm just realizing that. So give me Zion, and then out of necessity, I need a big. Give me Nick Claxton, who can play defense alongside.
Oh, that's a good pick. Damn.
Need
That was
him.
my next pick.
Woo! Welcome to Georgia. Bring him back
Damn.
home.
You know what? I also need a big. So out of necessity, also give me Brandon Clark.
Ooh,
Poo
okay.
poo platter. Oh my God.
You can have him. Center Brandon Clark. Okay. Give me RJ Barrett at my small forward.
Nice.
Figured.
Had a great year, been a bucket. And then, where do I want to go next? This is a tough one. Okay. Am I 4? Give me Cam Johnson.
Okay, that's a very, very good pick. Solid.
I got spacing around Ja early.
Okay.
Very,
okay.
very solid.
This is an interesting draft class. There's a lot of good, like, interesting parts.
Yeah, a lot of useful NBA players.
Let's see.
Donovan, this is a pivotal pick. You can either sell it or win it here.
It is. It is a pivotal pick. At my 2, listen, we're just going to go straight buckets. Give me a guy who's having a career year. I want Tyler Hero at my 2 guard.
Oh, that's the smallest backcourt of all time. We're attacking you. We're pick and rolling you guys to death.
I don't care.
Damn.
Ja is feasting. You got a 6'9" center and 2 small guards. You can't guard Ja.
We are going to run and run and run and win 41 games exactly.
Okay. Well, while you're busy over there just running around, at my point guard, go ahead and give me someone who's solid, consistent, and stable. Ooh. Damn, who's better between these 2 players? I don't know, genuinely. You know what? Screw that. I'm not going to prioritize this yet. At my 3, give me DeAndre Hunter. Solid, dude. Space the floor out for me. Okay defender. He's not a liability whatsoever. Hunter's good for that.
Very okay pick.
Yeah. Just thumbs up. Cool guy. Okay. Now I really need some talented guards. Need a really talented guard.
Go ahead and take the guy.
You know what? Go ahead and give me Kobe White. I love his size.
There we go.
Put him at the 2.
Oh, it's a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Your team is shaping up to be very, very okay.
Yeah.
At my 4, I would like PJ Washington.
That's a good
Okay.
pick.
Solid shooter.
Now, to round it out, at my center, give me a lob threat, give me a down low finisher, give me Daniel Gafford.
That's good.
Okay. I forgot he was part of this draft class. Damn.
Yep. And at my 2, I need a strong defender. Give me Nikhil Alexander
You stole
Walker.
my pick. Damn it.
Yep.
You stole my pick. I prioritize buckets. Damn it. Okay.
I need someone to play the defense that John Morant's not going to do.
And in that same vein, I need a defender at the 3. Don't really care what the offense looks like. We have enough of that.
Blah, blah,
Put
blah.
Matisse Thybulle at the 3.
Matisse Thybulle?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him play in forever.
He has a home in my franchise.
Shout out Matisse. Shout out those bubble vlogs. We'll never forget.
He played an important part in society, if you ask me. Okay. So I'm going to do now. It feels wrong to have this guy undrafted. So wrong. Having a great season so far this year, too. I'm a point guard. Give me Jordan Poole.
Oh, your team is so okay.
Listen, man.
Yeah, I'm attacking.
Third pick.
I'm attacking.
You're attacking. I'm
There's
attacking.
exactly one good defensive guard on this roster. On all 3 of our teams, one good defensive guard here.
Yeah, I got Nick Claxton. He's going to be fighting for his life. I got Nick Claxton, DeAndre Hunter, and Kobe White's okay, too. So my team's yeah.
So for audio listeners, I have John Morant, Nikhil Alexander Walker, RJ Barrett, Cam Johnson, and Daniel Gafford.
Okay, John's going to
And
have
I
fun
have-
throwing lobs to him.
That would be nice. And I have Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Matisse Thybulle, PJ Washington, Brandon Clark.
It's a 2v5 offense.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
okay.
Yeah, your team is kind of ass.
We will have. It's very fun to me. We will be okay.
Okay. So I got Jordan Poole at my 1, Kobe White at my 2, DeAndre Hunter showing up at my 3, Zion at the 4, and Nick Claxton at my 5. I got a pretty good team.
Interesting.
Pretty good.
Yeah, none of these teams are that good. None of these teams are very good.
Nah, keep that to yourself, buddy. Jordan Poole's looking your guys in the eyes. He's making his resurgence season.
He's looking John Morant in the ankles.
I got no comeback.
And that's the end of the draft. The next thing we're going to do,
Okay.
we're going to play a fun little game. I'm going to show you guys 4 NBA players. You guys have to tell me which one doesn't belong. So, they all have something in common, but there's one odd man out.
Categories.
So you got to figure out what they all have in common and which one is the odd one.
Okay, let's do it.
Every time we do stuff like this, you guys are generationally ass. So we'll see if this one stays in the episode. Because sometimes I have to cut it because you guys cannot do this.
Let's see what you cooked up.
Sometimes I get the right answer, but it's not your right answer.
Yeah.
And then you say it, and then you say that I got it wrong.
Yeah.
And that's gonna happen every time because that's the point. You're gonna look and find the wrong category that we're not looking for.
But I'm
You
right.
can do that every single time.
But I'm right. I just try to speak my truth, and you don't let me.
Who does not belong? For all your listeners, it's Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, easily off rip, we can already know that Shai doesn't belong here because the other three are MVPs of the league, and Shai does not have that yet. So
That is not the category we're looking for.
You see what I'm saying? You see, yeah, off rip. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I am correct. Shai doesn't have an MVP. The other three do. I'm not wrong.
That's how the game works. It's purposely misleading. Welcome to Game 101.
Okay.
No, you're lying.
Okay.
I've said my guess and I got it right. Mo,
Oh
carry
my
us.
God. This is why you can't do
He's
this. You're the
already
worst sport in
frying
the
us,
world.
bro. Holy shit.
Carry us home, Mo.
All right. So they all been OKC. They all wore a Thunder uniform. Correct. You're right, Donovan. All of them have been MVPs except for Shai, but that doesn't fit the case here. The only thing in my mind that might not belong, they've all been all NBA. KD was drafted there.
I will say this one is very
Russ
easy.
was drafted there. Harden was drafted there too. Huh.
They were all drafted by OKC except for Shai?
Yeah, that's the one.
There you go. That's the category we're looking for. Only Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was not drafted by the Thunder.
There we go. Wasn't that bad, Donovan? Wasn't that bad?
Look at that. Look what happens when you try, you don't cry. Wonderful things happen.
What do you mean try and don't cry? I got it right immediately.
Next one. Who does not belong?
Wasn't the Jeremy Lin? The hell?
We got Jeremy Lin, Jimmy Butler, James Harden, and Danny Green.
Okay.
Danny Green doesn't belong because the other three have worn braids in an NBA game.
That's a good one.
And I
It's
don't think
not
Danny
that.
Green has.
I forgot Jeremy Lin was braided up like ASAP Rocky.
Once again, I got the category. Let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
You're honestly not that far off, though.
Huh?
You're not that far off, though.
Oh, so it has to do with their looks, I guess. They've all
You're super
They've
warm.
all had mohawks except for Jimmy Butler.
There you go. They've all been Mohawk men.
We are back, Donovan. Let's go. Hold it with me, brother. Let's go.
Listen, once Jimmy Butler signs the next contract, he's coming to Media Day with a Mohawk. Calling it now.
There we go.
Next one. Who does not belong? We got Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Marc Gasol, and Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Got all these euros on my screen right now. I love it.
I'm glad you threw in the you love it. You didn't go full.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, listen, he stopped paying on Jokic.
Shit,
He
he
le-
was forced.
He loves Jokic now.
Okay.
Who are we going with? Where's this category?
So what are the commonalities? That's the easiest way to think about this, Donovan. What are some of the commonalities that you see in all of them? Oh, I think they all I think they all relatively speak the same language except for Marc Gasol because he's Spanish.
That's wrong, but you're very, very warm. Stay on that thought process.
Oh, they're all Serbian. Or no. I lied.
You're very, very warm. Stay in that thought process.
Go ahead,
Marc Gasol is the odd man out for sure. I know that, Donovan.
Okay.
It's something about
Why?
him.
Tell me about the geopolitics of Marc Gasol
Why?
and why he doesn't belong here.
You see, Marc Gasol.
You're so close.
God, it's on the tip of my tongue right now. Okay.
Any guesses, Donovan?
The other ones are Eastern European and Marc Gasol from Spain.
You're along the right lines. You're getting close. A little more niche.
Okay, it might be a little too niche.
Oh, their countries end with the ia, like Slovenia.
You're almost right, but you don't know why you're right.
We got it right. Just give us a pass.
Marc Gasol is the only one that's not from a country that formerly comprised Yugoslavia.
All right, yeah, we were
There we
right.
go.
There we go.
There we go.
There you go.
They from over
Close
there.
enough.
We would have
They
never
from
got
over
that.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
From over there.
Exactly. He's the Spaniard of the group.
Yeah, I was like, you guys are right, but you're not gonna think about it that way, so I'll give it to you.
You can't go too niche, or else we're never gonna be in the same mindset.
Do you know
What do you know
how
about
long
Yugoslavia?
it's been since I've heard the term Yugoslavia? Like, I don't think about Yugoslavia on a quarterly basis.
Yeah, you're insane for that. What the hell?
I don't know that I've ever thought about Yugoslavia.
Until today.
I'm sure there was like, I know we spent like a week on it in like world history or something like that. Haven't thought of it since.
Shout out Yugoslavia, man. Or don't. I don't know. Next up, we got Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Paul George, and Danny Green again.
They all got a ring except for Paul George.
I think that's it. Oh, shit.
Can it be as simple? Oh, man.
That'd be hilarious.
Okay.
They've all made the finals
Steph.
except for Paul George.
No, it's not.
Damn. Dude,
Keep it coming.
you might be right. I think Paul George is the odd man out here. He might be the odd man.
Have they all? Did Danny Green ever play for the Warriors? Like in his young days?
No, he never played for the Warriors. Mm-mm. Never played for the Warriors. What are the commonalities with these guys?
The other three are actually good 3-point shooters, and Paul George isn't.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Spread hates Paul George.
He's the odd one out. I know it's him.
You want it to be him.
Okay, so
I do.
Okay, hold on. Now I'm actually puzzled. I'm actually puzzled.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have no real hints just yet.
Steph Curry is the odd man out. The other three have podcasts.
I forgot Danny Green has a podcast. Danny Green has a podcast?
Yeah, he does.
Kevin Durant retired for the podcast game, but he used to have one.
Yeah. Danny
Okay,
Green
so
has a
if you're
podcast.
retired, do you still have one?
Yeah. If he's still
Shit,
making
he owns
money
business,
from
huh?
it, then you're still like you own that. So yeah.
Fine. They have all been on a podcast at some point. There you go.
Okay.
Next one. We got Kendrick Perkins, Kevin Garnett, Dwayne Wade, and Jordan Clarkson.
What the hell is Jordan Clarkson and Kendrick Perkins doing alongside KG and D Wade?
There are two polar bears in Arlington, Texas.
My brain is scrambling right now. Okay. Calm down. Okay. KG is a champion. D Wade is a champion in a finals MVP.
Oh,
Oh,
All of
Donovan, did the
them.
light bulb click?
all of them have been teammates of LeBron James except for Kevin Garnett.
Almost. You're so close.
See, this is why I'm upset. This is 3 times today.
Okay.
I
You're
never want
so
to play
close.
this game
Keep
again.
going. Keep
So
digging.
it's teammates of someone, Donovan.
Is it teammates of Rajon Rondo?
No. Now you're colder. Keep digging.
Of Rondo, Paul Pierce. They've all
No,
been
go
teammates.
back and then keep digging some more.
Okay, so they've all been teammates of.
Ray Allen?
Go back and then keep digging some more.
Of LeBron, they've all been LeBron teammates.
And keep digging some more.
What are we digging for?
Boogers?
The truth. Booger.
God. Okay.
Oh my God, y'all lose. Kevin Garnett is the odd man out. The other three were all teammates of LeBron in 2018.
Man.
They were all in the 2018.
Can we go to the next game? Can we go to the next game? Because I got it.
Yeah.
Because I got it.
Yeah.
They were all on one specific Cavs team
Okay.
I got
in
it.
one calendar season.
I never want to play this game.
Okay, that makes sense.
Next up, we got Jaren Jackson, Kristaps Porzingis, Amen Thompson, and Anthony Davis.
Okay. Why is Amen here? What is Amen doing here? This dude is like 20, 21 years old. He has no business here. What has he done in his NBA career that one of these guys like potentially has?
All right,
done?
settle down. We respect the men.
No, shout out to Amen. It's an accomplishment being alongside these guys already, I guess.
I guess.
All of them were the 4th overall pick except for Anthony Davis.
There you go. You right away got it. This is the easier one.
Okay.
Good job.
Donovan, look at you. Pick your head up,
Thank
champ. You
goodness.
got this.
First of all, my head is already up because I've gotten every single one of them right about twice.
You just fundamentally misunderstand why the game is hard.
Okay.
Next one. Draymond Green, Ron Artest, Julius Randle, and Gary Payton.
Julius Randle is the
all
polar
of them
bear
have
because he's
been-
never been in a fight before.
I was gonna say that
Are
too.
we sure about that?
Has he been in the fight?
Probably.
Was he in the BI fight?
No.
No,
Was he
he
gone
wasn't
by
anymore.
Yeah.
He'd been gone.
What year was the BI fight? That was 2018. Crazy.
2019. It was the first year LeBron got there.
He's not.
Well, the other three have been defensive
Yeah.
players of the year, and Julius Randle has.
That's not what we're looking for.
Oh, they had Julius Randle's
is
never
that
made
correct?
a defensive.
I mean, sure, it's correct, but it's not the point.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my god. And his might be one. Okay, Julius Randle's never made an all defensive team before. He's a polar bear.
That's not where we're not looking for anything related to defense.
Okay. No punching, no defending players. Cool.
It's not about punching either.
They all played. Let's see. See, this is tough right here.
Like it's other than like defense when it comes to the commonalities for these guys, it's hard to think of like what.
If you put Gary Payton in there, I'm immediately thinking like, all right, it has to do something with defense. And if it's not, then hey, I lost.
Yeah, we lost.
And look at that. You guys lost. Draymond Green's the odd man out. He is the only one who is never a teammate of Kobe Bryant.
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
That was good.
Solid.
Look at that.
That was good.
Went out with an L. Thankfully for Donovan's sake, this is the end of the segment, so no more tears need to be shed.
It's just ridiculous how you can win. Like I I did what had to be done.
Oh my god. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put the best stars of the 2000s into a tier list.
It's a big tier list.
Wow. Okay.
We got 20 NBA stars from the 2000s to tier list.
All right. Let's rattle this shit off.
The biggest tier list we've ever done. But I feel like I just so many guys I just couldn't leave off.
Let's
All
rattle this
right,
shit off.
who's going in F?
Hopefully nobody. All right, well, let's start off simple. Kobe Bryant.
S.
S tier.
1, 2 chips.
Okay, real easy. And obviously
3.
Shaq, also S tier.
Yes.
Keep in
Well,
mind though, we need to gauge the whole decade. So what they
That's
did
what I'm
from
saying.
2000 to 2010.
It's really like 4 years. It's 4 years of peak Shaq.
S.
But 2006 got another chip though, so you can give him 6 quality years to some degree.
S. It's S. We talking too much.
Yeah, his peak was ridiculous. It has to be S tier. But keep in mind, it's only what they did in that specific decade, and you got to count the whole year, the whole decade. Allen Iverson.
Should it be A or B?
He has the MVP and a finals run in the decade, which is a lot of these guys don't have that.
A lot.
But the
there's
second
also,
half of the decade was quite the fall off.
It might be B. Really, it's
he got
actually
an MVP though. Don't you dare say C for Allen Iverson.
No, it's not C.
Don't
It's
you
either
dare.
A or B. It's A if we're being generous, and B if we're being a strict critic.
Yeah, I think it's B. Because there's like 5 years where it's just like, who's this guy AI? Like, what's happening with him? No,
And there's a lot
like,
of MVPs on this list.
Yeah, I think it should be B.
MVP of the league in B?
Yes, that's 1 year. You're
But it
telling
was
me
only
about.
one MVP quality year too. It wasn't like a 5-year run of MVP quality years.
It's a terrible precedent to set, but okay, we'll put him in B.
We can go back to him. Kevin Garnett. See, he's better than Allen Iverson.
I think he's easily A.
And he got a chip in the decade. That's a perfect A tier to me.
Yeah.
I'll go A. I'll go A tier. It's not bad.
And that's why you put Allen Iverson at B. See, we gotta make some tough decisions.
I hate buckets, man. It just bothers me. We just devalue buckets. It's just crazy.
Okay. Chris Paul.
B tier? C tier?
Not C.
Probably C. He doesn't really have a big
Oh,
accomplishment.
well,
in
it
this game.
is the 2000s.
What does he have?
No, you're right.
He doesn't have shit. It's only the 2000s too. His
A
best years
beard
came in the
grown.
2010s.
He doesn't even have the longevity wasn't even there yet. So yeah, you can put it in C.
Yeah, so if it's strictly 2000s, he had some feisty good years when he was young, but nothing really happened.
Put it
Yeah,
in
we'll
C.
go C tier.
But he was amazing, so we can't go D tier. Tracy McGrady.
D.
Stop it.
I feel like he might have to be in the same place as Chris Paul.
That's what I'm thinking. Because he does have, like, he has scoring titles, which is more than what Chris Paul has in his span.
Well, Chris Paul has assist titles. If that matters to you.
Again,
we know his.
It's crazy.
Fine, we can put him in C.
I mean, again, never got out of the first round. Irrelevant for the second half of the decade. Can't be higher than C, right?
C.
No, but let's put him in C.
Okay, that's fair. We got to value peak very highly in this because they're all great players. So if you have like a peak,
his peak was
T-Max
crazy
peak isn't
high.
that crazy. T-Max peak isn't that crazy for this list though. I don't know. We'll revisit him.
Oh my god. Just give me headaches, man. Just scoring 30s, whatever. I averaged 33 in a dead ball era with like the whole team scores 66. I scored 30. It's whatever. It's fine.
Dude, look who's on his list. I'm just saying, it's a fucking stacked
it's
list.
fine.
There's like 7 MVPs on here. Okay. Jason Kidd.
Ooh.
His title was in the 2010s, so that doesn't count.
It doesn't. But
he was great for the whole decade.
There are some finals appearances.
Should we put him in B?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go B.
Yeah, B. I feel like you have to win a title or maybe multiple MVPs to get A tier, I think. So B's fine.
Okay.
Is he on here? He is on there. Okay. I see what you're setting up for. Next name.
I don't even know I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, let's go. What do you want to do with Yao Ming?
Yao Ming, he has to be D.
Really? Why?
His career started and ended in the same decade. There's no longevity at all. The peak wasn't like insane high. It was riddled by injuries. The talent is super high, but I feel like he has to be D tier.
Yeah, it's not his fault, but compared to everybody else on this list, he's got to be D tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Vince Carter.
He might be D.
Also might be D tier.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was great the whole decade. A flame out like crazy with one team. Good run with another team, but nothing really of substance happened. No titles, no MVPs. I don't even know how many first team All-NBAs he had, if he had any.
Yeah, we'll go D tier with Vince.
I don't think he sniffed
But
MVP
shout out
ever
to
too.
shout out
Just
to
like
you
Yao.
in Toronto. They love you out there.
Yeah.
You'll
Shout
always
out
have
Vince,
that.
but I don't know. Should Vince be neck and neck with T-Mac?
No, he should not.
No, he should not.
Okay, I didn't think so. Carmelo Anthony.
Again.
I want y'all to answer first.
I don't know. You answer first. 'Cause look at the precedent we have. Where do we put him? Because B tier has an MVP, one of the best point guards of all time. C tier is like unaccomplished. Where do you think he falls?
F sounds right to me. We can move on.
I feel like he's C tier. He's very talented but unaccomplished in the decade.
You said C?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm good with that.
C?
I'm good with C
you
tier.
were scared of D?
Yeah, I thought you guys were going to say D, but no. Melo.
But what do you
C-
think? Should we go to D? Just to piss him off?
Stop
He
that.
should go to D, really. He never
What
had
you
like
mean, really?
in the 2010s, he didn't have like an MVP type season.
I'm sorry, are we talking about the 2010s or are we
This is
talking about
2000s.
the 2000s?
2000s, he didn't have an MVP type season. Same shit applies. My bad. 2010s he did, but 2000s he did not.
Just don't even sell us. Why should he be C tier?
Yeah.
You're just over there. Tell us why. Argue for your guy.
First of all, he has more playoff success than the other two guys in C tier. As a scorer, which is T-Mac's main thing, he's at the same level that T-Mac is. You have longevity there, and he actually has more longevity in being at the top in that decade than Tracy McGrady. He should be right there with him.
Okay. No, he is
I
very
agree.
similar. He's very similar to Chris Paul. They both came in, drafted around the same time, and just have a few All-NBA seasons, but nothing much else. That's fair.
I can't troll enough. I'm sorry. Please accept my apology.
I just want to see you argue for him. You were hesitant.
He also won a national championship and a gold medal in the same.
All right,
decade,
now
so.
we counting that too?
Good
I'm
for
just
fucking
saying.
him.
I'm just saying. We're talking about what he did in the 2000s. He did do that.
All right, man. Where do we go with Dirk?
Ooh, he might be. He won a championship.
He's probably B tier. He has an MVP. The championship doesn't come until the next decade.
Yeah.
So really, in the 2000s, they were talking crazy about Dirk.
They were calling him a fraud. They were calling him soft European shit. They were being mean as hell to him. In the media.
It was a decade of Gilbert Arenas talk. So
xenophobia was running through the New York Post.
It was kind of tough. But again, he does have an MVP. So that does mean something.
Yeah, I think MVPs can't be below B.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Chris Bosh.
He's D.
Is he D or is he F?
Nah, he's D.
Are we just not going to put anybody in F? We're just going to be nice?
What's F about him?
I don't know. He's just the worst one on the list, I think.
Exactly.
No fault to him. He's great. I love Chris Bosh, but I mean, somebody has to be at the bottom.
Yeah,
I don't know. Actually, I don't think he's worse than Vince Carter. Well,
I don't think he is.
Okay, let's go D.
Yeah, I think he's D. He's thoroughly D.
Ben Wallace. Where to go with the defensive demon?
He might be F.
See, we can't do that. We cannot put defensive demon Ben Wallace.
3-time DPOY. He cannot be below the guys in D.
4-time DPOY.
My bad. 4-time DPOY.
And a champion.
Cannot be below the guys.
Oh, he was a champion.
And a champion.
I literally forget he won a championship.
Multiple finals appearances.
Okay.
Now, so he's not S, not A. That's a lot of accolades. Does that deserve B or is it C because the individual production isn't there?
No, we have to go minimum B. A championship and 4 DPOYs is minimum B.
Yeah, you're right. The
that
is
DPOY
insanely stacked.
Yeah. The only thing he doesn't have is scoring, which who cares? He's the best defender of the fucking list.
All right, put him in A.
No.
Relax. Too much dip. Steve Nash.
B.
Easy B conversation. He won what? 2 MVPs?
Yeah, him and Jason Kidd, Allen Iverson, but 2 MVPs. That's something.
I think he's the thorough B.
Who else on this list has back-to-back MVPs? That's not A tier.
Who else on this list? Listen, I fight for justice everywhere, and it is an injustice that he won back-to-back MVPs. I'm not giving him A tier. I'm not clearly putting him above Allen Iverson. In a tier above Allen Iverson and Jason Kidd? No.
Yeah.
I'd take Jason Kidd over Steve Nash anyways.
Oh my God. B tier it is. I forgot we had the Steve Nash hater in here.
The truther? That's what I am.
Speaking of the truth, Paul Pierce.
Listen, we could put Paul Pierce in after this for jokes.
We need someone.
I don't like Paul Pierce enough.
I'm sure he's a cool dude.
He has a title. He has a Finals MVP. That one specific year of 2008 where he's like at his peak, that's pretty good.
I guess some C probably, right?
Put him in B.
B. No,
he doesn't.
We're not putting him in the same category as Dirk and Steve Nash and Jason Kidd.
Do you have him in C?
Yes. It's Paul Pierce.
He might be C or D.
Oh my God.
It's not D. He's crazy. You think it's disrespectful to have Paul Pierce next to Carmelo Anthony? I don't know. I mean, he does have jewelry.
I just think he has a title. So
okay.
He should get up there.
But does that sit right with you to put him in the same tier with these legends?
I mean,
why you hang with a legend? He has a title and a Finals MVP. Like,
I don't fucking care. He's going C tier.
Hold on.
I got the mouse.
Oh, we don't respect anything in this world. Nothing is sacred.
We got to revisit Paul Pierce at the end of this. We got to revisit Paul Pierce.
We'll revisit him. No, Mo, you decide. You want to go B or C?
Also, why is Paul Pierce his picture is bigger than everybody else's? His head looks huge.
See, for that I want to put him in goddamn F. But we can keep him in C.
For having a big noggin?
Yeah.
You put him in F tier?
Yeah. We can keep him in C.
Okay. Ray Allen.
Ray. Man.
You gotta put Ray in. That came out 98. You gotta put Ray
He has the
in
ring
C.
too, but no Finals MVP. I think he's worse than Paul Pierce for the decade. I don't think he contributed to winning as much. Yeah, I mean, he was one option for some years, obviously, but it wasn't like super fruitful.
I think he might be D.
I think I'd rather have Paul Pierce.
I think he might be D.
And like, how much do we weigh a third option ring?
Yeah, it was important.
Does a ring mean you have to be C even for third option?
Nah, that's not the case.
Donovan?
Y'all gonna disrespect Ray? It's okay. I'm outmatched. Put Ray in D.
Not disrespect. These are the best players of their decade. They're all amazing. Okay. LeBron James. We're finally getting to him.
Put Bron in S. I don't even.
Yeah,
There's no
obviously.
conversation.
Yeah, duh.
Put Timmy in S while you're at it. There's also no conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
No conversation. Tim, yeah, S tier. Dwight Howard.
Won an MVP.
A final trip. DPOYs. A lot of all-star seasons. A lot of carrying as a first option.
You can put him in A.
Yeah, I think he's very similar to Kevin Garnett with everything I just said.
I wouldn't put him
KG
in A.
has
He
the
doesn't
ring,
have a
he
ring.
doesn't.
Yeah, he can't be an A. He's firmly B, though. He's a strong B.
I don't know. I mean, he has the DPOYs in the same way as Ben Wallace, but he's obviously way better offensively. 8-time. Dude, he made 8 All-NBAs, which 4 All-NBAs.
That's the whole
in this
decade.
decade.
Like that's like.
4 first-team All-NBAs in this decade.
Listen,
That means them.
the NBA 75 disrespected Dwight. I don't want us to be on the wrong side of history too. We should put him in A.
Okay.
But then again, Dirk and them are there. He doesn't have a.
Higher than
What
Dirk,
would you
though?
think?
If we put...
Sorry, Dirk.
No, Dirk has to be A if that's the case, too.
No, you're right. Dwight didn't win MVP. If Dwight won MVP, then it'd be A.
He was close to winning MVP. Just right
Yeah.
outside the 2000s.
No MVPs, no rings. Hard to get into A unless you're like super productive offensively and defensively.
You know who's the perfect A?
Who?
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade's automatic A tier,
Wade. Yep, he's an A.
Low key. I mean, does he have an argument for S with a 2006 chip? That might be the best carry job chip of the decade.
The other guys have at least have an MVP. He doesn't have
You're
one.
right.
Yeah, and then after that,
Okay,
too,
but for the carry job chip, he has to go A tier at least.
yeah. Now, if he did a carry job and then was like carrying his team consistently throughout the rest of the decade, then I'd be like, yeah. But he had his like terrible failures, so he has to be A.
Yeah, that chip is like what the 2011 ring is to Dirk in the 2010s.
Exactly.
Okay, so for all you listeners, here's the whole tier list. Let's see if we got to tweak anything. We got Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, and Tim Duncan as S tier.
Nice.
A tier, we got Kevin Garnett and Dwayne Wade. B tier, we got Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd, Dirk, Ben Wallace, Steve Nash, and Dwight. C tier, we got Chris Paul, Tracy McGrady, Carmelo Anthony, and Paul Pierce. D tier, we got Yao Ming, Vince Carter, Chris Bosh, and Ray Allen.
Okay.
How do we feel?
I feel like we have to have someone in F, bro. We have to utilize F.
Do we?
I think we do.
We don't have to.
Who's the worst player here?
I don't know.
I'm not telling you because then you're gonna move him to F.
You know who it is. Let's do it.
No.
Uh-uh.
I'm just not doing that.
How about no?
Sassy.
And that concludes our tier list.
Principled. What do you mean?
These bastards.
I stand on my values.
There you go. That's our tier list. We got one more video left. Mo, I believe you had some NBA shoes you want to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Tis the season, bro. I have some NBA shoes, and I want y'all to go ahead and rank them or rate them from 1 through 10. New signature shoes drop every single year. And let's see what Nike and Steph Curry's Under Armour brand's cooking up, bro.
Okay. What's up first?
All right, so first up, we got De'Aaron Fox's first signature shoe under the Steph Curry brand.
This is the Curry brand, right?
Yep, this is the Curry brand. He's the first athlete.
This is tough. This is immediately like at least an 8 or 9 to me, just because the strap is a foxtail. That is such a cool ass little detail. I'm ranking it highly.
I like it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Sorry.
I actually really like that. All right, you got
9
that.
out of 10.
Under Armour coming out here with
8.5.
W's? Since when? I'll give this a 10 damn near, bro. I'll wear this shoe.
Rare W.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
And you don't see strap over the shoe like that. The last time I saw a strap over the shoe was maybe like KD4s, I think.
Nah, shout out Paul George made a career off it in the shoe
That
game.
is true. I forget.
I think John Morant took it.
All right. Next up.
Are they still making Josh shoes? Or they drop him?
They have him. Josh shoes, yeah, they're here. They're on the list.
Okay, okay. I remember like he lost a lot of brand deals after his pow, so I couldn't remember.
He got him, bro. We're gonna rate him too. All right, next up we got the new LeBrons.
Ooh, don't like these. not even a little bit. Not a fan.
Listen, man. Age,
You might have picked a bad colorway, but this
age,
does not move
age
me
comes
at
for
all.
everybody. And whether that means on the court athletic performance or off the court shoe performance, listen, that
Facts.
age hits.
When
Listen,
Jordan got to like shoe 18 and 19, that shit was ass.
it was like,
No,
I'm sensing a pattern.
This is the
'cause
end of
from-
my
at least
goat.
we're just talking looks. This does not move me.
the end of my goat. I think that the colorway is just so bad. So bad. This looks like Wemby
I'm giving this a
shoe or
5.
something like that. It is I think it's a 4 or a 3.
I'm
Yeah,
going
you can
3.
be more mean than I was. I'm not gonna be mad at
Yeah.
you.
This looks like a Martian shoe. All right. Next up, we got Kevin Durant. The new KDs.
These are pretty good.
What is
I
this?
like the little ridge on the side. Looks real Predator. I fuck with it.
I think it
It's real
works for
aquatic.
Kevin Durant, and it looks cool on him. If I see you outside wearing these, I don't know how I would feel. And for that reason, I'm going to go 5.
Are folks wearing like hoop shoes outside casually like that?
Were these some jeans?
Some cargos?
Y'all got to go outside more. All right? Y'all got to see.
No, I like these. I like this colorway too. I like green. I'll give this a 6.
This is a damn near 7 to me. I would wear these for sure.
Yeah, this is a nice shoe.
Yeah.
With some khaki cargos?
Oh my god.
We got the new Jaws. These are hard.
Ooh.
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 I like the little like suede texture on it. That's hard. This might be a solid 8. I like this.
I give this damn near a 9. I almost said 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9. I don't like the different
A
material.
lot of cool texture.
Yeah.
You got some like wood on it with some suede with the mesh on the toes. There's a lot going on and it works.
Yeah.
It's a very high floor because they're basically Kobe's.
Mhm.
And they look very much like them. So I'll go about 8 and a half.
A
It
win's
looks
a
like-
win.
Yeah. Listen,
Okay.
after his last year and a half, you sell shoes any way you can.
Exactly. If I was an NBA player, I too would want to rip off Kobe's.
Facts. For the Lolo?
Next up, we got the new Giannis's. Whew. This is rough.
I don't know how to feel about these.
These are
I feel like I
childish.
like them and I hate them at the
They're
same
like
time.
shoes that I would get for my grandpappy. Like, here, uncle. Like, you're getting old. You know, like, I see you need some, like, back stabilization and shit. This
Do you guys remember Skechers shape ups? Those ones that had the big
yeah.
ass soles.
Yes.
These look like that.
Yes. Like, they're super.
This is real good for being 80 years old and walking around a mall.
speed walking. Just, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Fanny pack.
Yeah.
It's going.
Yeah.
You and your girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the colorway though, but the shoe is kind of clunky.
6
I'll
and a
go
half?
6. Yeah, 6.
6 is cool. 6 is generous. But
Real orthopedic.
yeah. Okay. Next up, we got the new Dames. These are hard. Adidas.
Dude, Adidas always comes right with these shoes. Every single Adidas line is fire. I like these a lot.
Yeah. Dame had some really ugly shoes back in the day, but these, I see the resemblance when it comes to the Anthony Edwards shoes and James Harden's. But
Yeah.
this right here,
Yeah, the last like 3 years, once they started copying everything Kanye was doing for him, now they've been cooking.
the revamp is real, bro. Shout out to Ye.
Yep. They stole his flow and it's worked really well for the basketball line. I'll give this an 8.
Yep.
I see the vision. They're not for me personally, but I guess I'll go like 7 and a half.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay, that's fair.
We got the new Zions.
Oh,
These are Kobe 8s. I don't know.
Z's.
Jordan Brand, what are y'all doing? What like from
Too
your
much.
9 to 5?
Too much. That's
From
what
your
they're
9 to 5, when you guys clock in, what does your day look like?
I know.
Because I can't understand why year after year after year Jordan Brand consistently puts out the worst shoes in the entire league.
I can tell. Zon came in.
Bro,
He designed
every Jordan
these
brand shoe,
himself.
they just like throw the most random concoction of elements on it. It's all so Maximus doing way too much. These alien shoes.
doing too much, bro. They're doing
This
way
is
too
awful.
much.
This is so bad.
I have no words for this
This is so bad.
disgrace.
I'm going
Zion,
3.
when I look at your career and think of disappointments, I'm not blaming it on you. I'm blaming it on these shoes and what the Jordan brand has done for you, bro. Nothing.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah, bro. He should have signed to Shaq's company,
I'll give it a
bro.
3.
I'm sure Shaq's shoes Shaq's company would have been way better than
What?
what Jordan's doing for him. Way better.
Don't know about that. But
Tripping.
giving these a 3, and we're moving on.
All right.
Yep.
Next up, we got the new Tatums, bro. Y'all fuck with the JTs?
Nope. Sure
They're
don't.
kind of cool.
Once again, I see a Jordan Brand logo. I know it's gonna be ass. This is, I mean, okay, it's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of like some 90s, like Shaq Gnosis vibes, those old Reeboks. It's not terrible. The color's cool. I can't go higher than a 5, though.
That's definitely what they were aiming for.
Tatum.
Yeah. I honestly, I really appreciate the bravery of doing a lot in this way. It's interesting, but I don't know. It just doesn't quite hit for me.
Okay. That's fine with me. I'll give this a
No, I'll go 6.5 because they had gusto to try
6.
something.
Yeah, 6. This is a pretty color, too. I like this. It's probably the best color of this shoe.
I'm a sucker for floral print. Almost anything.
Yeah. All right. I'll go 6. I'll be nice.
All right.
You don't gotta be nice.
Nah.
No, I'll just go 6. They don't move me. I don't like them, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up, we got the new Kyries.
Those are bright. You can tell he left Nike.
I feel the vibranium through these sneakers already. Kyrie, take me back home. I need it.
These are some Henry Danger basketball shoes. These things are.
Looks like
I do not like
a
these.
magician.
Exactly. Now you see me. Now you don't.
He's gonna jump on the court, throw some fucking smoke on the ground, just and disappear.
I don't. Yeah. I am not rocking with these.
And for my next trick, I will shoot 30% from the field in the finals.
Disappeared.
So you didn't have to go there.
That's
you
crazy.
didn't have to go there. You didn't have to go
That's
there.
a crazy insult.
He was going through a hard time. Okay. Returning to Boston was very emotional.
Oh my god. I mean, it's not terrible. I'll give it a 5.
I feel like this colorway in black would be so hard. So hard.
Yeah, give me some normal colorway, and it's probably
The actual mole of the shoe is quality. And it's not funky. It's
it's
ugly.
cool.
So I would give this like a
I like the sole. I like the little
6.
patterns coming out of the sides. I like him doing the Native American heritage stuff there. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
No, I'll up it. Let's go 6.
6 is cool.
All right. Cool. Shout out Kyrie.
Next up, we got the new LaMelos. They look like his old ones.
This is some Avatar Way of Water ass shoes.
And this is why they're perfect. It represents the LaMelo Ball. Do you see the 1 of 1, bro? Do you see the inklings, the same tattoos that he has on like his wrist or whatever? It's LaMelo Ball personified.
I see this. Every time I see LaMelos, I just think of that commercial from last season where he was in the barbershop and they pan the camera and he's like, bruh, I'm literally him. And I can't think of anything else. It's the worst commercial I've ever seen. He says it just like that.
These. I do not like these. This is like if you took that Cam Newton font and just put it all on the shoe.
You say
I
Cam
can't
Newton
rock
font,
with
bro? I think this is what you see written on stalls in the middle school bathroom. Genuinely.
Yeah, and honestly, these are marketed to middle schoolers. I'm sure for middle schoolers, these are fucking fire.
Oh, God.
So for their intended purpose, they're probably an 8 or 9. For me, it's a 4.
I agree.
I'd never wear these to the club.
It's hilarious, bro.
And that's the last one.
Whew.
And I believe that is the end of this episode.
Right.
If people are still here, what should they comment, Donovan?
Ooh.
Comment, bruh, I'm literally him.
There you go.
Shout out to Portland's economy.
I comment, shout out to Portland's economy. And we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all.
Big episode next week. If you're here at the end of the episode, big episode. Make sure you dive in.